Hello world! Alright, we are back. Whoa! Spinny? Okay, that'd have been too good. Okay. DSV, how you doing? Thanks for popping by. How's your day going so far on this fine Tuesday? Milosh! How's it going, guys? Okay. Right, let's turn that down. Let me know if the audio and everything's looking okay, if everything's popping by okay. After I came home from my exam last night, I did some more tinkering to optimize things a little bit. Hopefully that things still look okay, I hope. But we'll see. SP. SPO. Okay, wait. Happy to catch the stream. Yeah, I know. This will be roughly around the time that I'll be streaming for the next couple of Spore. Would have been a good guess before that last one. Romero, thanks for popping by. How's it going? Spade? Oh, for fuck's sakes. Are you kidding me with this? Oh, I'm going to lose, and it's going to be right there. SPA. Okay, if it's not this, I lose. Oh, okay, clutched it out. Not fair. Trust me, I promise, Romero, this is for your own good. This is for your own good. I promise. It's better that the bank does this. As someone who used to work in a bank for years, it's a good thing. Dr. Z, thanks for popping by. Yeah, you're usually about like, you usually pop out when I'm like a chapter in. It was like damn near perfect timing. Yeah, fantastic. How's your day going so far? Did you start your new job? All right, give me. All right, we'll start at 11 on the dot. In the yeah, exactly. W Bank, absolutely. Trust me, it's for your own good. I promise. You may not realize this yet, but it's for your own good. Okay. Job. Poke. Bro, I hate my country. Nightwalker, how's it going? Thanks for popping by. How's your day going? Poke. Jab. Stick. Pierce. Nice. Imagine having the money but being blocked by sanctions. Oh, that's actually true. That's way worse. Holy shit. At least when your bank is doing it, worst case, don't do this, mind you, but you can call your bank and be like, hey, listen, I need you to remove this block, okay? Because I'm spending it on my own volition. You can't do that. Well, the country, sanctions, you can't do shit. Queen, how's it going? Thanks for popping by. I appreciate it. Copy. Roger. Over. Negative. Radio. Yes, radio lingo. Good. It's perfect to listen to while I clean. Yes. Isn't it normally weekend cleaning? Tuesday morning cleaning or afternoon, depending on wherever you're from, Coin. Okay, I don't even know what this word is. Unironically, I don't know what this is. Okay, Daniel, Sugar, Judges, Sean. Justin, thanks for popping by. How you doing? All right, give me. All right, yeah, I'll get started in 1 minute or as soon as I fuck up this Wordle. Okay. Sure, Sean. I don't know, man. What in the fuck is? What? Not sanctions. Just Sri Lanka blocks games and foreign betting. You have to go and get your card manually whitelisted. Oh wow. Really? Like, what does that process look like to get like whitelisted? Do you just have to go to the bank and like pop over and let them know, or like is it like a, hey, like you have to send an application of some kind, or how does that work? Okay, sure, Sean, Sugar, Daniel. Shershon Sugar. This is so bad. I don't know what this is. What is this? Old Test. Oh, for fuck's sake. Old Testament books. Okay. Job, Judges, Daniel. I should have gotten this. Numbers? Really? I didn't even know that was in there. I was talking about myself, but yes. Yeah, no, I totally get that, Dr. Z. Yeah, that must fucking suck. Because even if you want to do a thing, you have to, like, you just can't. It's the government. What are you going to do? Go there and protest? There's nothing that comes out of it. I need to go there and tell them what domain I want to get unblocked. Wait. So, like, if you decide a different game, you have to go there again to unblock a different domain? That's insane. Words pronounced sh without a sh. Bro, how am I gonna go there? Tell them to their face about... With your face, bro. I promise. The bank employees don't give a shit what you're doing. I promise. As someone who used to work at a bank, people have... Do you okay, unironically, do you understand the number of clients I've had who are like 19, 18 who would pop by and tell me like, hey, my card isn't working. I go, okay, what's up? Like, where were you trying to use it? And they'd look me in the eye and go, OnlyFans. And I would look at their account and it would be not a joke. I'm not kidding you this. Pages of like $1.50, $2.50 of OnlyFans over and over. And I'm like, how the fuck are you spending this much money there, bro? What is happening? Tell them you're a content creator. I need to... Yes. Do that, yeah. How did the exam go, Queen? I finished the exam. I got through it. I didn't kill myself. So, you know what? I exaggerate. It went fine. There was one question I know I fucked into oblivion, but the rest should be fine. So I'll do okay on it. I finished at 150, right? That's what it said on my last stream. I can't remember if I actually left it there. Let me just check at the end of 150. Dude, DSV, I'm not kidding. I don't understand. Like, the people who do that, I'm like, do you understand there's like an infinite amount of free stuff on the internet? Like, what are you bothering for? I don't understand. I'm sure you have to... Not like for each game, but like each game provider. Oh, I see. Okay, so that's not too bad. Can you download... yeah, no, I'm so glad to have it done, Dr. Z. It's not even funny. When in doubt... Dude, Milos, we don't have fucking multiple choice questions, dude. We have case questions. My questions are 3 pages long. Like, out of the 3 hours, you spend like 45 minutes just reading the fucking question because it's so long. It's not even funny. Not for... Can you down... Is Wuthering Waves downloadable on Steam? Or... Because I know they have their own, like, bullshit thing that you can download it through, but can you download it through Steam so you can bypass it? Okay. I think I left at 150. Your memories aren't completely gone. Wait, yeah, no, I read this. Hold on. Need you to cause a paranormal incident. Yeah, I read this. Hold on. So I read 151. After he was sated, the fool that doesn't belong to... he yawned, but kept himself awake. I think I'm going to just switch to a different bank. But then wouldn't the... Because I would assume those regulations are government provided and not bank specific, right? So you'd probably still be listed to it at the same... you'd still have the same problem at a different bank, no? Gray fog glyphs, light a candle. Yes, I think I'm here. Always coming to Steam and is also on Epic. So why not just do it on Epic Games and then you can just pop by and let them know to approve Epic, no? Brings a certain sense of connection. Yeah, I don't know, Justin. I don't get it either. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me, but I read some psychologists say that this was because it made them feel like they were building a link. Dude, I don't. It's beyond my comprehension, okay? There's some banks that have less restrict. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Okay, yes. So 150. I didn't read this one, right, Milos? No, I definitely didn't read this. Oh, wait. He let out a breath. There will be danger if the ritual is carried out. My exam used... That's okay. That's actually not fun either, because that doesn't provide you any context, Jin. I get that, but like something in the middle would be great. My friend is in another bank. You can buy them easy. Okay. Yeah. I didn't summon anything. Yeah, I don't think I've read this. Okay. Someone can, maybe Milosh can, but I'm almost certainly I didn't read this. Okay. 152. Okay, so in that case, I might try to get to 159. If you guys, well, I mean, okay, so my plan, by the way, sorry, just before I get started, I'm going to start reading in like 2 seconds. Just before I start, my plan is to stream for about 3 hours right now, and then take like a 5, maybe not, but like a 3 or 4 hour break, and then stream again in the afternoon. Assuming Easy's not streaming. I don't know if he is. I don't know if the schedule is or anything. If he is, then I'll stream later, because I want to try and catch up as quickly as I can. I want to try and read as much as I can as quickly as possible. So yeah, because you got the urge to change my name into my real name. You can, Dr. Z, but I also like your current moniker, so obviously do what you like best. Okay. Sounds good. The grey fog filled the air in its eternally unchanging manner as the illusory crimson star hung around him at varying distances. Klein sat at the lofty palace that looked like the home of a giant as he looked at the familiar sight before him. After a few seconds, he looked away and made the yellowish-brown goatskin appear. Then he lifted a pen to write the amended incantation of the summoning ritual. Easy streaming like 7 hours, so that'd be, okay, 6 o'clock for me. Depending on how long he streams, I might stream at night then. Because, again, I want to try and read as much as I can. Because, like, especially because I had the day off, my throat feels, like, really good. So I can, like, the afternoon stream might be shorter. It might be, like, 3 or 4 chapters. But as much as I can, I want to try. Because I have this really cool idea. By the way, fuck, sorry. Okay, I promise, last thing. I don't know who would know this. Maybe Ramiro or someone. I don't know. What's the best way for me to contact Easy? Is he active on Discord? What's the best way for me to reach him? Because I have this idea. I don't want to say anything about it yet because I want to run it by him, see what he thinks about it. Okay. That's it. Light a candle to represent myself. Use a spiritual wall to create a holy environment. Drip a drop of full moon essence oil in the flame, chamomile pure dew, slumber flower powder, and other ingredients. There's no need to be too particular in this step because it's summoning oneself. Recite the incantation. I, in Hermes, Jotun, Dragonese, or Elvish. I summon in my name, in Hermes, the fool that doesn't belong to this era, the mysterious ruler above the grey fog, the king of yellow and black who wields good luck. Active somewhat on Discord, but DMing. Like on Instagram DSV or YouTube comments? Okay, sounds good. I'll send him a message. Okay. Yeah, I'll message him on, I'll just message him on YouTube then. He's dead on Discord. Okay, sounds good. I'll reach out to him on his YouTube then. Can't rely. After scrutinizing it 3 times, Klein wrote a divination statement at the bottom. By the way, I will say his streams are fucking long, dude. Okay, look at that. I have a question for you. It will test how good you are in predicting the story. Yeah, go right ahead with the question. I'm a few chapters ahead of Easy, but he keeps catching up. Okay. After scrutinizing it 3 times, Klein wrote a divination statement at the bottom. There will be danger if the ritual above is carried out outside of this world. He let out a breath, put down the pen, took out the silver chain in his sleeve, held it with his left hand. He just forgets he has a Discord. The topaz pendant hung above the goatskin steadily, only a slight distance above the divination statement. He reined in his thoughts and entered a cogitation state. There will be danger if the ritual above is carried out above the outside world. There will be danger if the ritual above is carried out outside of this world. After reciting the statement 7 times, Klein opened his eyes, which were almost all black, and looked at the topaz, which was spinning counterclockwise. Negative, meaning there would be no danger. For some reason. Oh. That's okay. That's so funny. Okay. But Easy stall so much you have. I have a feeling now that like in a week I'll be done school, so I'll have a lot more free time. So my plan is to, as much as possible, stream like 5 times a week, 10 chapters a day on average, even if it's like split into things, so I can do like 7 and 3, 5 and 5, whatever. Because I want to try and... One is, I definitely want to be way ahead of wherever the anime ends so that I have better understanding. So whenever the anime starts, I can make content and have it sound relatively okay, instead of it being just retardedly wrong, just because I don't have any context and it just messes up. So it's much better if I can be, like, I think you guys said it goes up to the end of volume 1, which is like 210, 215, 220 chapters, something like that. So I'd like to be at least well above 300 so that I have a little bit more context, right? Which would be really handy, because I'm sure they're gonna 24-hour stream. Bro, no, come on. What do you think, he's Ludwig out here, bro? Okay. Anime cover 214, right? Exactly. So I'd like to try to be over 300, just so I have more context. So when I'm making content about the anime, it's not just coming out all wrong, because I say a thing and then like 40 chapters later it just disproves what I'm saying. It's just a mess. Okay, I can give it a try then. Klein made the items before him disappear. He extended his spirituality wrap around himself and simulated the sensation of falling. He then immediately returned to his bedroom. Due to the fact that he sealed the entire room with a spiritual wall, Klein immediately cleared his desk and put on a mint-scented candle right in the middle. He pressed slightly on the candle wick, rubbing it with spirituality to cause friction and ignite the candle. Under the flickering dim light, Klein dripped the corresponding essential oils, extracts, and herb powder onto the flame. A soothing fragrance suddenly filled the air, and the room alternated between brightness and darkness. Taking 2 steps back, Klein looked at the candle that represented himself and shouted in Jotun, I summon in my name, the fool that doesn't belong to this era, the mysterious ruler above the grey fog, the king of yellow and black who wields good luck. He did an 18-hour stream? Holy shit, that would be wild. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. I figured you'd ask a question, Ramiro or Milos would delete it. Yeah, sorry. So I don't know what that question is, so I can't answer that for you. Maybe you can try running it by one of them to see if there's a better way to ask it or something. I don't know. Just as he finished speaking, he sensed the wavering candlelight suddenly dance vigorously and produce a vortex of the surrounding fragrance. It absorbed his spirituality at an insane rate. Slumber flower, a herb that belongs to the red moon. Please bestow your power to my incantation. Klein endured the discomfort brought about by having his spirituality drained as he finished reciting the incantation. Then he saw the candlelight stop wavering. It was tainted with a grey luster, which extended to the size of a palm. I didn't summon anything. There's no better way to ask it. Okay, never mind. I didn't summon anything. Oh, right. Perhaps I'll need to respond to it above the grey fog. It's quite troublesome to summon myself, Klein muttered. He calmed himself down, took 4 steps counterclockwise before arriving above the grey fog yet again. He saw that there was a rippling light above the seat of honor at the ancient table. It stemmed from the strange symbol on the back of the corresponding chair. The strange symbol that was made up of a pupilless eye, a symbol representing secrecy, and contorted lines that represented change. Is it in the overlay? Interesting. The overlay is so small for me, I can't read anything on there, unfortunately. It's not deleted on stream, but yes, like I don't see it. Because I have a whole different. It's just yeah. So. You can't be, yeah, same, okay. I'm sure there's a way to do it. Maybe I can, yeah, I have the overlay here, but it's literally like this tiny. I can't see shit on it. I can just see enough to make sure that nothing is like wrong or nothing is not appearing correctly. That's literally it. All Klein did was extend his hand to reach for it when he immediately heard the mysterious ruler above the grey fog, the king of yellow and black who wields good luck. Then he saw the spirituality combining with a rippling light that formed an illusory yet shapeless odor. The door shook as though it wanted to be opened. Klein immediately felt inspired and strongly willed for it to be pushed open. Almost instantly, the boundless grey fog and lofty palace was drawn forward. There were a few barely noticeable ripples. The ripples surged towards the illusory yet shapeless door, but no matter how much Klein pushed it, the door couldn't be pushed open. Every movement resulted in dead silence. The door of summoning has yet to take shape. Interesting. The door of summoning. That's an interesting way to put it. Klein reined in his will and creased his eyebrows when he analyzed the reason why he had failed. He had casually named the door of summoning. Okay, that does look better. I'm lacking spirituality, so I can't form a door of summoning. When I advance to sequence 8 and pass through the initial dangerous stage, I can give it another try. Perhaps it won't be a problem then. Interesting. Okay, so he's just lacking pure, let's call it mana to do that. Interesting. This experiment gave him a confidence boot. He felt heartened that as this was the first time he had received some sort of response from the mysterious space above the Grey Fog. Other than the incident when he divined the EBS, other than when he divined about EBS. There will come a day when I'll understand all the secrets here. I sure fucking hope so, dude. Klein excitedly declared in his heart. He then made a rapid descent into the boundless fog and after he wrapped himself in his spirituality. Klein quickly blew out the candle after he returned to the bedroom. He ended the ritual and cleaned up his study desk before he removed the spiritual wall. A gust of wind suddenly blew as he yawned. He collapsed into the bed, covered himself with a blanket, and quickly fell asleep. In the hazy dream that followed, Klein woke up abruptly and realized that he was sitting in the strange living room of his... What? Why did I say strange? And realized he was sitting in the living room of his home and was holding the Tinjin City Honest paper. Don't tell me the captain is here again. He was stunned at first as he looked outside the oriel window, finding humor in his exasperation. With a creak, the door opened. Dunn walked in slowly, holding his black windbreaker that went beyond his knees and held a cane and pipe. He was wearing his black top hat, and underneath it were his profound gray eyes. I will discover all these secrets like a lord of the mysteries. Yes, he said it. He said the thing. Dunn came to the living room and sat in a single-seat sofa. He leisurely crossed his right leg over his left. Dude, he has so many subordinates. Why the f does he have to harass this one? What the fuck? He put aside his cane and took off his hat and leaned backwards. He sat there quietly and looked at Klein as though he were thinking. Captain, what are you trying to do today? Klein was dumbfounded. In order not to expose that he knew it was a dream, he pretended not to be affected by it and continued to read the newspaper. 1, 2, or 5 minutes, a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, he lifted his head to look at Dunn, who sat opposite him. He found that the captain was still sitting there quietly and looked at him in deep thought. 5 minutes, 10, 15. Klein flipped through the newspaper back and forth multiple times, looking at Dunn from the corner of his eye. Do you think Dunn is sitting there going, holy shit, bro, would you notice me? And noticed that the man was still looking at him quietly in deep thought. Captain, you're making me very uncomfortable. Klein couldn't sit in peace. He folded the newspaper and put it aside. He nodded and smiled at Dunn. Then he went to the kitchen to get a piece of cloth and started wiping the dining table and coffee table. Captain, look, my dream is so simple, so ordinary, so boring. There's nothing worth observing. Just hurry up and leave, damn it. Why don't you pretend to be a ghost and I'll pretend to be frightened, then you can complete your achievement as a goddamn nightmare. He prayed in silence and lifted his head, but all he saw was Dunn's gray eyes that were still deep in thought. Under such a quiet and constant gaze, Klein wiped all the furniture and cleaned his room. He was so exhausted in his dream. What wore him out most was Dunn, who was watching him quietly in deep thought. Klein had no idea how much time had passed while he made himself busy until he saw his captain uncross his legs and stand up. Then he took his cane, put on his hat, and walked through the door. Klein held his breath and watched Dunn leave the house. He couldn't help but lift his right hand to wave goodbye. Phew. When everything returned to normal, Klein let out a breath of relief. That really was a nightmare, he thought to himself, too preoccupied for tears. Backland, West Backland, Philip's department store. Philip was one of the top-end department stores in the Lone Kingdom. It opened only to nobles and wealthy people who were qualified to be members. It's like Costco, basically. What the fuck? Yeah, I love that Dunn will visit the dream of Klein daily until he fully digests. He's like, listen, you're the one who told me about this, so you suffer this with me, okay? I don't like doing it. You don't like it happening. It works out for everybody. Yeah, I know. Like, thank God there's no like harassment fucking statutes or whatever in Victorian England. Like, holy shit, dude. You pay me during the day. You don't pay me at night. Holy shit, get the fuck out of my dream. There was a luxurious carriage parked outside with different emblems printed on them. Not only was it a safe space for shopping, it also became a popular social venue due to the strict restrictions on members. Audrey brought her maidservant, Annie, and her golden retriever, Susie, best girl, under the ushering of an eagerly attentive attendant. She got off the carriage and walked through the entrance. Along the way, she saw the daughters of viscounts, countesses, or maidens with parents with high social status. She maintained her elegance and greeted all of them gracefully. She communicated with different nobles on different topics. For instance, when she faced a particular countess, she would compliment the fittings of the countess's dress. And when she greeted a particular baroness, she would praise the outstanding performance of her husband in the House of the Lords. Audrey hadn't been good at that previously. She was too stubborn and too arrogant, but now she didn't even need to put in much effort to respond perfectly. In a spectator's eyes, most of the emotions and thought of the female nobles were written on their faces. Arriving at the second floor... hold on. Maybe this is better. I'm curious. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to see what works better. Yes. Arriving at the second floor, Audrey turned into a shop that sold ready-made dresses. The attendant in the shop was a petite maiden, and she wore a black and white dress and had a shoulder-length blonde hair. She was the arbiter, Gio. Audrey gave Susie a look without changing her facial expression. The dog understood what her owner meant immediately and ran to another counter. Annie went after Susie, trying to drag her back. Well done, Susie. Audrey complimented inwardly and walked toward Gio, pretending to look at the variety of dresses. Why did you arrange to meet me here? Gio inquired with a whisper while she loudly introduced the dresses. We're not slandering Dunn, so to speak. I think it's much more like, hey man, like you have a lot of subordinates. How about you go harass one of them tonight? Like, why is it only Klein? What the fuck? Her voice was tender like a child's. Where's the original attendant? Audrey asked in reply. Gio looked around and said, I convinced her. She was happy to rest for the morning. Audrey looked at the different styled dresses while she took out a piece of neatly folded paper from her lamb leather hand and handed it to Gio. Rear Admiral Hurricane has snuck into Backland. This is his portrait. I hope you can find him for me. Oh, and do not alert him. Audrey doing the Red Devil Dream networking. Gio received the piece of paper and unfolded it to take a quick glance. She saw that it was a lifelike portrait of a man in his 30s who had a unique broad chin. I was constantly praised by my art teacher. Audrey stole a glance at Gio and lifted her head. She added, the kingdom offers a reward of 10,000 pounds. Hold on. Sorry, I just want to show you guys what I'm imagining when he says with a unique broad chin. This is what I'm imagining. Obviously, this is a kid, so it doesn't work. But this is what I'm imagining. Don't look so scary now, Admiral, do you? Oh God. She added, the kingdom offers a reward of 10,000 pounds for him. If he were to be arrested, even the person that only provided clues would definitely be rewarded with a few £100. Just as she finished her sentence, she saw Gio's eyes beam with joy, as she had expected. Oh, that's so funny. Okay. A unique wide jaw. His hair is in a bun like an ancient knight. eyes that look at you with the intent of an icy smile. Gio was half slumped on the sofa as she scrutinized the portrait that Audrey handed her. Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, imagine, like, but think about it from my sense, right? It's so fucking funny. It's like, someone walks in and like they're just exuding aura, and then you make them out to be this fucking child who looks like this. That man is in an aura debt now. You understand? Holy shit. Oh god. In her eyes, the man might as well have been a living, walking pile of money. After committing the looks of the great pirate to her memory, she proceeded to read the description written at the bottom of the page. Brown hair, dark green eyes. Okay, that doesn't work with the kid. How hilarious would it have been if it said black hair, black eyes? Holy shit, that would have been perfect. I'm gonna keep bringing this up. This is fucking hilarious to me. The portrait can only be used as a general reference as the target possesses the ability to transform into another person. It is unknown how long he can maintain the transformation. The portrait can only be used as a reference. The target possesses the ability to transform? Why did I spend so much time memorizing his facial features? Gio wore a dazed look, as if it was the first time she had witnessed the evil intentions the world had for her. She looked up and saw Four's wall slumped languidly in a sofa across from her. She seemed to be muttering to herself. There's no way to look for this person. We don't know what he looks like. All we know is that he's not from Baklan. There are way too many foreigners who come in every single day. Four's attempted to sit up but failed even after 3 tries. Why? Is she just drunk out of her mind? What the fuck is happening? I'm only an apprentice, not an arbiter, she pouted as she placed her hand on the armrest of the sofa, successfully pulling herself in a sitting position. Milos! Yeah, couldn't be quiet about that, could ya? Does that lady think that we're prophets? Forrest jested. Gio was about to answer when she realized that there were still footnotes she hadn't gone through. She recited them softly. Suggested ways of searching are as follows. He has an evil object with him. It needs to devour the flesh, blood, and soul of a living person every other day. You can consider looking for missing vagrants. Search for his information thoroughly and build a profile on his unique hobbies and behaviors. A person's facial features might change as long as he hasn't received any special training. He will often act like himself, such as the things he likes to eat, his gait. What the fuck is that? Gait, their manner of walking, actions he's used to performing, and many other details. Forrest nodded as she listened. Forrest is a drug addict? Yeah. Like, okay, okay. You guys are not gonna like this comparison, but I'm gonna make it all the same. I don't give a shit. I'm not sure if any of you have watched Breaking Bad, but this is who I'm imagining her as right now. Just struggling to get up off the sofa. If any of you have... I don't defend addiction. I only like Forrest. Wait, hold on. Forrest nodded as she listened. Miss Audrey isn't the innocent, naive teen that the rumors suggest. She has a meticulous heart and a calm sense of observation. Is that so? Gio asked doubtfully. She didn't expect an answer as she changed the topic by suggesting, I'll be in charge of gathering the information. Can you consolidate that pile of gold pounds? No. The Admiral's hobbies and unique traits. I knew it, Milos. Okay, see? Thank you, Ramiro. See? Okay, listen. Milos, I don't know if you've seen Breaking Bad. You probably haven't. But, okay, she was great, okay? So... she and Lila did have a similar vibe. This is actually true. But the only difference was... okay, fuck, I'm gonna get off into a tangent. Is that Lila, I don't think, really cared about Dexter. He was just like an object of her obsession. Whereas, I can't... what the fuck? Jane actually loved Jesse. So, I feel like there's a difference there. But similar vibes, for sure. Forrest opened her eyes wide and shook the steel box containing her cigarettes. How can you bear to do this? Oh my god, I keep forgetting Forrest smokes. Oh my god. You know what? You're right. Best girl. Fuck it. How can I do this before someone says it, I know I do this every time. GeoShot, I am the real amnesia man. um, Geo shot her friend a good... Oh, wait, where am I? Hold on. How can you bear to do this? How can you bear to make a dainty, sensitive author do consolidation, analysis, and deduction? Obsession, love, I see no difference. Geo shot her a good friend a glance as she exuded the air of authority without realizing it. There's an interesting paragraph here on deduction in your Stormwind Mountain Villa. Forrest pulled back her hair and lowered her head. She looked at the coffee table as she said, "Do you know how much of my hair I pulled out? How much sleep I lost just for that paragraph?" She quickly lifted her head and looked at Geo, then lowered her head once again and grumbled, "Life is short. There are too many things that we need. Why must we waste our time on such uninteresting menial tasks?" "That's very reasonable." Geo nearly nodded in agreement. She fought hard to keep her authority as an arbiter. Good lord, I also ship her with a certain pirate hunter. Zorro? What do you mean pirate hunter? Sorry, Milos, I already read that one. Sorry. Okay, she... Sorry, I'm watching Milos's messages come up after I've already read it. Then do you have any other ways to solve this problem? She suppressed her voice. Forrest thought nearly for 20 seconds before looking up suddenly. "We can hire a professional. After you finish collecting information on a rear admiral, we should erase the name and hand it over to an excellent detective. We can then have him do the consolidation and deduction. All we have to do is pay a fee." Why didn't I think of that? Geo's mind went blank. Forrest and Geo looked at each other without saying anything. When the atmosphere became awkward, she cleared her throat. We'll do it according to your suggestion." After saying this, she said, "You'll pay the fee, of course." Howe Street, Divination Club. "Good morning, Mr. Moretti." Angelica looked at Klein in surprise. "You rarely come in on Fridays." Exhausted from searching for the house in the red chimney, Klein smiled and said, "Fate never repeats itself indefinitely. It always brings us some surprises." Ramiro, good to see old friends in this chat. He was in the area and the time had expired on the carriage he rented. Thus he came in for a cup of black tea and some rest. Furthermore, this would serve as the final layer of the foundation. With the new experience at the Divination Club, he could logically mention the application to Dunsmith. "Your words are always so philosophical." "No, bro, they're just scummy. They're like, hold on. Oh, for fuck's sakes. This is like, unironically, this is how he talks. He talks like Jordan Belfort. Like just someone who's just trying to scam the shit out of everyone he talks to. What the fuck? This is what he talks like. They're not philosophical at all. Thanks for popping by, Bullseye. I don't believe I've had you here before. Thanks for popping by. How's your day going? Klein thought for a moment before saying with deliberation, "I may not come to the Divination Club too often in the future, so you need not recommend me to others anymore." He had already digested his potion, so he had to advance towards a new goal. "Why?" Angelica said in shock and puzzlement. "You've already made a name for yourself in the club. Most people know that your divinations are accurate and miraculous. In fact, we were considering getting you to come in on Sundays as a lecturer. If I was paid £1 for every divination, then I would keep doing it regardless of how tired. Besides, I still have to investigate the houses with the red chimneys and find the culprit as soon as possible." "Madam, you do not need to convince me to stay. Madam, do not convince me to stay. This is an arrangement of fate." Wait, hold on. Yes, but to be fair, he's still better than Roselle. Yes, probably fair. Klein would never scam someone. Are you kidding, Romero? He would scam anybody enough money. What the fuck? Stop. No, leave that in last chat. Here, my alleged crimes are... Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's you think of it like a different jurisdiction, you know? Like you can commit a crime in, let's say, the US, but if you move to Russia, no extradition treaty, you're chilling, right? So, you know, you're fine. Klein, yes. Wait, Dr. Z, you changed your name back. Um, I won't stop coming to the Divination Club entirely, it's just that my visits will become less frequent. I'll still pay the membership fees on time, of course. I can get reimbursed for it anyway. I'll come down on occasion to monitor the place, Klein said in his heart. How regretful. I hope that you will be at the club when I happen to be lost, Angelica sighed. He was the subject of the second trial? I figured that. Okay, yeah, but he's innocent of everything here, so it's all good. Clean slate. She realized that this wasn't as surprising as she imagined after the initial shock had passed. Perhaps such a miraculous seer that still respected fate wasn't someone who could be held by a club in Tingen. Angelica smiled. Psy black tea? Yes, Klein returned with a smile. He spent about 20 minutes in the club, spending the time resting, finishing his black tea before leaving the club. When he entered, he opened the mailbox out of habit and saw that there was a letter placed inside not too long ago. Klein opened the letter and saw it was from Mr. Azek. I will be heading to Morristown on Sunday and return on Wednesday. Most of the citizens in Morris were believers of the goddess. He's heading there on a Sunday. That means that according to the usual level of efficiency, the Nighthawks would only receive information Tuesday or Wednesday. I can make it. To think that Mr. Azek would remember my request. I hope that he remembers not to do it personally. Him summoning a spirit and doing something scary would suffice. Klein nodded slightly, and released his spirituality and burned the letter with friction. By the way, I was thinking about this because I had time yesterday, because tax is boring as fuck. I spent the whole day studying it, but I was thinking about other stuff too. I didn't even consider when I said, I can't remember. I think I said the light suppliant pathway for Azek, maybe. I didn't even consider that maybe the fact that he's lived for so long is because of his Beyonder ability. Cause I just figured like he was just like a freak of nature or some shit. Like, I don't know, like, you know, like he was the son of a high level Beyonder, and so he has like abilities or so. I don't know what I thought. I just didn't consider the fact that he's lived for so, because you guys said like 1500 years or some bullshit like that. I didn't even consider that could be because of a Beyonder power. I'm not going to change my guess now because I don't know what would make someone live for 1,000 years. I got no fucking idea, man. So I'm not going to make any guesses on that. But when I made that guess, I thought about it later. I was like, I didn't even factor that in because I thought that was like a separate factor altogether. Bullseye managed to escape justice for a day by refusing to show up for trial, so it makes sense he would hide in another jurisdiction. Love that. Find yourself a man who loves you as much as Klein loves money. Impossible, Queen, okay? Those men don't exist anymore. I say as a man. The judge was biased and I didn't get my court summons. You didn't have someone throw a letter at you and say you've been served or anything, Bullseye? No? One of the hidden lords in LTM is thinking about Angelica and what goes on in her head during the second volume. Make a guess. Dude, I don't know what makes someone fucking immortal. Or I don't know if it's immortal or just extends his natural life. I don't know if I stabbed him in the heart, would he just revive or would he not die or would he die? I don't know. I don't have anything in my notes that talks about extending life or making someone more resistant to death. I don't fucking know. What does that look like? I have no data on that at all. I couldn't make a fucking I couldn't make a guess if my life depended on it. I don't know. Okay. Hey, hold on. He flicked his hand, turning the flame into ashes and allowing them to fall onto the ground. Bro, stop littering, you shit. Hold it in your hand, throw it in a trash can. Saturday afternoon. Klein was wearing his black windbreaker and hat. He had his cane in his hand as he walked slowly to the security company. Saturday afternoon. Is this his shift at the Chinese Gate? You know that sequence 4 and above are demigods? Yeah, I do. But, like, is the implication that Azek is that high? That would be fucking wild. It has many possibilities. Yeah, like, I don't have any idea, Jen. It could be any fucking, like, if let's, like, Mr. Dr. Z is right that, like, higher level Beyonders are called demigods, but, like, that could be anything. Like, does that mean, like, they get wings? I don't fucking know. What does that mean? Leila, thanks for popping by. How you doing? Like, I don't know what that means. Like, a demigod. Well, that's just a really strong human, or technically, like, half god. But, like, what does that mean? I don't know. Does that give you wings? Does that give you an angelic glow? I don't fucking know. Wait, hold on. After greeting Roseanne, he looked at the partition and noticed that the captain's office was open. He deliberately spoke louder. Yesterday, I had a girl who looked just like you at the divination club. Really? Roseanne asked. Klein nodded. Yes, in fact, I thought she was your sister. I'm sorry to disappoint, but I have no sisters, not even cousins. Do you remember her name? No. Why would I remember her name? Looking at her was exactly like looking at you. Can I take that as a compliment? Roseanne was a chatty girl who never needed others to start a conversation. She asked on her own accord, Klein, I would assume that you're earning quite a bit from the divination club. As a true seer, your abilities are far beyond who take this as a hobby. We would still be good colleagues if you didn't mention this, Klein coughed. A seer has to be respectful of fate. We cannot use our divination to ask for abnormal privileges. Are you concluding your own maxim as a seer? Roseanne asked out of curiosity. Yes, Klein answered frankly. After a brief chat, Klein said goodbye to Roseanne. He took his hat and walked towards the partition. He looked at Dunn Smith, who was drinking his coffee as he opened his door. Please, come in. Dunn looked up at Klein and adjusted his posture. He immediately goes, holy shit, he's bringing me another case. Everything's on fire. Holy fuck. Dunn is so petrified of this man. He's like, if this motherfucker walks into my office, I just immediately assume the entire city's on fire. Klein had already probed the captain over the past 2 days. He confirmed that Dunn Smith hadn't mentioned the acting method as he was trying it out. It was clear that he was cautious of the higher-ups of the church. Thus he closed the door and sat across from Dunn. He said with a serious yet slightly excited expression, Captain, I believe that I've completely grasped the seer potion. I wish to submit a special application. Wait, greetings we cannot say. Ramiro, you worship him. I don't think you're above those things. Interesting. You were doing... I don't actually know, because I'm not even halfway through the novel yet. I met someone who looked just like you. It's no different than being... Yeah, reason why done. That's actually a good point, Ramiro. That's like as close to retribution as he can get, because he's like, he's my subordinate, and plus technically he's helping us. But fuck, man, my work is... Holy shit. But fuck, man, my work is so much harder ever since this asshole came along. Holy shit. Okay, let's just try this instead. Fuck it. Yeah. As he looked into Klein's eyes, Dunn took a deep breath and leaned back. Then he slowly exhaled as he spoke. I'm gonna have to move the positioning of this. I don't like it. I don't know where I'm gonna move it, but I will. If it's too far, I'll figure it out later. Fuck it. I might just go back to the original stand I had back there. I don't know. As he looked into Klein's eyes, Dunn took a deep breath and leaned back. He then slowly exhaled. Are you certain? There were minor changes in his facial expression. He seemed to be well prepared for the special application, but he didn't expect it so soon. Captain, why do you look relieved? Klein didn't conceal his smile as he said, I'm certain, Captain. When you fully master a potion, you'll feel a very special and magical sensation. You'll have no doubt that you've mastered the feeling. Special, magical feeling. Dunn muttered those words and his eyebrows slowly knitted together. The captain advanced twice without fully digesting the potion. Of course, if he didn't know about the acting method, it would be difficult to fully digest it. He must have used a prolonged period to break it down and subconsciously act to minimize the risk of losing control. Poor captain. Klein looked quietly at Dunn Smith, but he didn't speak or say anything further as to allow Dunn to think carefully. This part of the story really made me, saying, oh, Emmett. Yeah. Maybe, yeah, plus that's kind of wild, right? That he's a sequence 7, but like, he's never had that feeling of having fully digested a potion, which means like his chances of going, like losing control or like going apeshit or whatever the fuck are like way higher. Because he's a sequence 7, which is low, mid, depending on however you're classifying it. But even still, like if you're getting there without fully digesting those before, that's not good. After almost a minute, Dunn's deep eyes reflected Klein's figure once again. He weighed his words before he said, maybe it would be a better option to wait another year. Get the fuck out of here. What the captain means is that waiting another year would make it less conspicuous. With the example that Madame Daly set for me, the higher-ups wouldn't pay too much attention. At most, it would only put me on a list for observation. Dunn used time to advance instead of acting? Yeah, that's totally fair, but like even still, that's still crazy, no? Like having to digest a potion just through sheer time. Like that's like me saying, hey, so let's take out all the stomach acid from your acid. We'll just let it sit in your stomach, and the food that you eat will eventually just decay on its own. It's like, well, maybe, motherfucker, but that's not what's supposed to happen. That's kind of wild, no? I don't know. I think sleepless is hard to digest. I don't know if that's the case, DSV, because I feel like any sequence 9 are relatively similar in terms of like their difficulty to digest. I don't know. Like I'm using those words very vaguely. I don't really have any notion of what they mean, but like I would assume that any sequence 9 is like an enhancement on your potion or enhancement on your spirituality, right? So like I feel like they'd all be relatively equal in terms of how long or difficult it would be to acclimate. I meant how he actually wanted to protect Klein from the uncertainty. No, yeah. Oh, in that sense. Yeah, totally fair. Yeah, because like that's super sweet because he's saying like, hey kid, there's no, because like obviously he doesn't know that Klein wants to move up as quickly as possible because he wants to go home. So as far as he's concerned, he's like, kid, there's no rush. Take the time because you don't want to come under scrutiny or whatever. So let's just take this out. Like, I appreciate that. That's loyalty, yeah. At most, I would only be put on a list for observation. Klein thought and answered frankly. At first, I wanted to wait until next year to send in my special application. After all, there are too many things I need to master. For instance, my combat art is only at a beginner level. But if you get the Clown Potion, doesn't that increase your ability to fight? What was the, sorry, let me look up what let me open my notes again, sorry. I feel like some lore drops might be coming, so it's better for me to have it open anyway. Sequence 8, Clown. Beyonder is said to be good at fighting with deception. Well, I guess with deception, so I don't know what that looks like. Maybe it doesn't enhance physical stats. I don't know. Yeah, that's why it took him so long. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's been years since he last digested the potion. He could have forgotten. Maybe Milos, but I would imagine that it'd be like a kind of special feeling that you'd remember, no? Like, everything I'm thinking of is very inappropriate. I can't say it. I don't know. You guys know, like, a feeling that you never forget. Like, I don't know. I literally can't think of anything that's not sexual. I'm gonna leave it. But, Captain, don't you think that we've experienced too many coincidences in the last months? We were chasing after the kidnappers when we came across the Antigonus notebook in the opposite room. The shipment of the sealed 249 was delayed, but Ray Bieber didn't leave Tingen and tried to digest the power at the harbor. I wanted to attend a birthday banquet and triggered Hannes Vincent's incident. I went to investigate at the library and ran into a member of the Aurora Order. I don't know what these coincidences mean, but I feel insecure. That's why I want to enhance myself in the best possible way. Oh yeah, I guess digesting the sleep, because you are acting as a sleepless, just never sleep. Holy shit, yeah. You just like prop open your eyes with those fucking like with like wooden pieces like they do in like Tom and Jerry and shit. Tom. Like you just do this for long enough and then you digest it in like 2 weeks. Oh god. All right. No, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Sorry, I just need to send my brother something. Give me 2 seconds. I just need to send him something. Do. Okay, sorry about that. All right, yeah. All right, glad I left that up for you guys to see. Okay. But yeah, I feel like if you just didn't sleep, wouldn't that just be acting as a sleepless? Like, I feel like that'd be pretty easy to do. I mean, don't get me wrong, aside from the insomnia, which I'm sure would start fucking killing you. Okay. Yes. Most I wanted to be put on the list. Yes. Klein sees the opportunity to talk about the manipulator behind the scenes. It was something he had planned to include in his schedule without exposing his uniqueness. Mary, you're blaming your country for lack of sleep? Yeah, I feel like that's more of a personal choice, no? To talk about the manipulator behind the scene. It was something he had planned to include in his schedule. Without exposing his uniqueness, he would remind the Nighthawks to make them search for more clues in different angles. That's why I said the sleepless should be easy to digest. Oh, yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah, like the name's pretty fucking easy. Plus, I feel like even we're all sleep deprived anyway, because the technical definition is like, oh, if you're asleep, for fuck's sake, what's the definition? Like we're all carrying some amount of sleep debt, I'm sure, for not letting me use my own money. Oh, you're still talking about the Wova, I see. I don't know what these coincidences mean, but I feel nope, already read that. Without exposing, holy shit. Okay. Klein sees the opportunity to talk about the manipulator behind the scenes. It was something he had planned to include in his schedule. Without exposing his uniqueness, he would remind the Nighthawks to make them search for more clues from different angles. What he said earlier would only lead them to other Nighthawks to conclude that Klein had a discerning mind and was good at organizing his thoughts. Okay, you know what? I'm really sorry, guys. Literally, give me 2 seconds. I'm just gonna grab a glass of water really quickly. I just realized I don't have any. Give me 2 seconds, okay? I'll be right back. I'm really sorry. I'll be right back. Okay, really sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm back. Okay. Oh, you're fine. Go get water. Okay. All you need is anime girls and coffees. Motherfucker just lives on waifus, bro. Oh, you should Queen. You should absolutely try melatonin. My mom used to have like really bad insomnia issues. She used to have like really bad migraines all the time, and so like she just couldn't sleep at night because like her migraines would wake her up. She used to get up like every hour on the hour, stay up for 15 minutes, sleep for 45, and like holy shit, that was her daily sleep, and it just that fucking sucked. And then I got her melatonin. Ever since, she sleeps a lot better. Still not great by like normal people standards, but like she'll sleep for like 4 hours a night, wake up for like half an hour, another 3 hours or so. So it's like a lot better. Really recommend it. Okay. Where was I? That moment, Klein said the word, but Dunn's body leaned forward. In the end, he steepled his fingers in front of his mouth. He fixed his gaze and remained quiet, seemingly thinking about what Klein had said. After a while, Dunn lifted his head and said in a mellow, deep voice, very perceptive, "Perhaps there really is something lurking in the dark." Without waiting for Klein to speak, he instructed, "You can submit the special application." Yeah, obviously I don't know how it's gonna react to you, Queen, obviously, because I'm sure like every person's different. But like melatonin is one of those really good things where it's something your body already produces. It's not like you're not taking some like androgynous bullshit or whatever, right? It's literally like, hey, your body already produces this. Melatonin is like the hormone your body produces when it's sleep time. So you just take a little bit extra to really put your body to like, hey, it's sleepy time. We go sleep now. So it just tells you that, and like, there's nothing negative to it. There's been a ton of studies. None have ever shown that like taking external melatonin decreases your natural production or anything. So yeah, so like from my understanding, it's like really good and very little downsides. Obviously, yes, like Dr. C said, exposing yourself to any kind of light near bed schedule isn't great, and you should try to set a sleep schedule as rigid as possible, meaning like even on the weekends and stuff, you go to sleep and you wake up around a set time so that your body can start acclimating. Look at that. It's nice to have someone actually verify what I say. Although I guess the flip side is when I start making shit up and start trying to sell you guys some fake medicinal bullshit or whatever, Dr. Z will correct me on that too, so you gotta keep that in mind. Okay. Alright, Klein lifted the corner of his lips as he answered. He got up with a smile and walked towards the door. As expected, he heard a familiar additional remark. "Hold on," Dunn called out. "Take note of your choice of words." "Don't worry, Captain. I place far greater importance on this matter than you do." Klein nodded in agreement. "You do have a strict sleep schedule. That's good. Like for example, I don't have a very good sleep schedule at all. Like, my shit varies from like, I generally go to sleep around midnight. That part is pretty sad, but like what time I wake up varies unbelievably. Some days I'll wake up at 6. Some days I'll wake up all the way at 9. Shit's just fucked. But when I don't have school, I just try to let my body do its own thing. So like when I feel like it's like I am gonna get up, like I don't set a schedule and stuff because I don't have classes right now. So I don't what do you call it? So I just wake up whenever my body feels like it's well rested enough. Oh, no, Dr. Z, I don't mean you're taking benefit. I mean, like, when I start selling you guys, like, some bullshit, I don't know, supplements or whatever the fuck, you'll be there and you'll be like, no, that's not right. And I'll be like, fuck, yeah, so it'll be negative then, but it's good right now because you're reinforcing what I'm saying, so we'll see. My sleep schedule is destroyed by Easy. Well, very technically, Romero, your sleep schedule is destroyed by you. Yes. At first, he thought Dunn would propose that they avoid going through the Holy Cathedral in advance to sequence 8 in secret. Then they could go through the normal procedure after 3 years. However, he thought it through and realized it was impossible. Regardless of whether a special application or a normal application, The person who was going to advance still needed to be investigated by the Holy Cathedral. The only difference was that one method was relatively simple and the other more complicated. If he became a sequence 8 in secret, then it could put the entire Tinjin Nighthawks in trouble. I wake up every hour on the hour to see if there's a surprise stream. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, just you wait, Queen, alright? Once we get big enough, I'm gonna start pushing every kind of bullshit supplement. You guys can clip this, alright? So like in 5 years from now, I'll just be selling like, what's like the shittiest fucking thing I can think of? Like, what's those fucking red light sauna? I'm gonna be fucking recommending these like red light therapy bullshits, whatever the fuck, to try. I don't know what the fuck this shit is supposed to do, but like I see like Joe Rogan and bullshit pushing it. I'm just gonna be like, oh my god, guys, you don't understand. You have a problem with your sleep. I need you to purchase this $9,000 red light treatment, okay? It will solve everything. It'll cure your cancer. Holy shit. Like, oh god. Yes, us mods better get paid then. Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. That's exactly, Romero. That's all we have to do, okay? It's going to be a Ponzi scheme. So, like, you, and then we'll get Dr. Z, and then we'll pay her too, and then we'll have a full-on fucking thing. Yeah, exactly. So you'll become a yeah, exactly. I'm gonna be the fucking Logan Paul of anime. Stop. Okay. Since Klein was finished his mysticism lessons, he didn't go to the basement in a hurry, but walked to the clerk's office next door after leaving the captain's. He found a man and woman sitting in the office. The man was in his 30s and the woman in her 20s. There were two newly added members. Romero, you live in Sri Lanka, bro. Like, a good salary for you is like $9 or something. I don't know what the fucking conversion looks like. I'm just making it up, bro. Wolvermont, yeah. I'm assuming like microtransactions are like a lot cheaper in conversion to you. So like, yeah, trust me. We sell one of those red light therapies. That's your salary paid for like 19 years. Don't even worry about it, bro. We're chilling, okay? They were surprised when Klein entered. They then smiled and nodded in greeting. They were curious and in awe of the Beyonders that they worked with. Count me out. I made an oath. Here's the thing, Dr. Z. Have you considered all of the other doctors that break their Hippocratic oath for money? Exactly. You wouldn't be the first, so just you wouldn't be the first, so just think about it. We'll work out the money in the future. That's no problem. Just think about it, okay? Think about how what's that fucking doctor's name? Dr. Gundry? I'm not sure if you guys know who this person is. This guy is literally the scum of the fucking earth, dude. This motherfucker takes money from every fucking horseshit supplement wellness bullshit you can think of and peddles his own bullshit. He's a doctor, so like people think, oh well, he is a doctor from Yale or like College of Georgia. College of Georgia, get the fuck out of here. So like, oh my god, he must be intelligent. It's like this motherfucker will just sell out his soul for money, dude. This guy, he's unironically on a podcast saying like, well, you see, a Hershey's bar has as much sugar as a bowl of grapes, so you might as well just give your kid Hershey's. It's like, what the fuck? This guy's a doctor? I'm like, yeah, like get the fuck. I need to get off off this backwater, bro. And my whole legs. Don't worry, we'll be counting on the most well-known doctor. Dr. Pepper, yes, of course. How could we forget about Dr. Pepper? Let's Google. Someone gave you. It's 26,000 in your currency. I love. Holy shit! Are you telling me 2,600? Wait, hold on. 26,000 in $100? Stop. There's no way. Dude, I don't even know what Sri Lankan rupees. No, dude, it's way worse. Okay, maybe you did Canadian. Maybe that's the reason. 30,000? Excuse me? I'm sorry, we're doing so little reading today. Holy fuck. What? Yeah, no, like this dude is literally the scum of the earth. Like, dude, what a fucking you take the Hippocratic oath and then you throw all of it away for money. You're such a fucking piece of shit, dude. I can't even listen. I'm an accounting major, okay? We're designed to maximize shareholder profits. If I do it, it's my ethical obligation. If the doctor's doing it, it's a problem. It's okay for me, of course. I've sworn on both my honor and religion I'm not breaking it for money. So money doesn't really... I'm a millionaire if I turn into dollars, so money doesn't usually... hey, exactly, that usually is... Listen, Dr. Z, that usually means that door has like a little bit of creak in it, okay? We can work it out in the future. Don't you worry about it. We'll figure something out in the future. Very good. I don't even know. How did we start talking about this? What is happening? Yes. I climbed in chat with them, but found an empty desk and began writing a draft for his special application. As he had already had a draft in his head, it only took about 10 minutes to complete the initial work. After reading it a couple of times and amending parts of it, he sat before the Ackerson Model 1346 typewriter. Okay, in what fucking universe? Like, think about how wild it is that, is it Cuttlefish? Or, like, I think the author of Allotium? Or someone can correct me if I got that name wrong. That they gave me the model of this typewriter, bro. Just say the typewriter. This is some, like, insane world building. Oh, yeah, Scanner gets scammed, buddy. Yes. And started typing his draft onto a document. Listening to the tapping of the keyboard, the two new clerks exchanged looks and stood up simultaneously. They left the office and went to the reception hall to chat with Roseanne, giving Klein some privacy. Oh, that's sweet. Very carefully and fully aware of the need to maintain secrecy, Klein stole a look at the receding figures as he complimented them. He focused on his work again and continued typing on the typewriter, or tapping on the typewriter. How do we end on this topic? For sleep, you just take antihistamine and the side effects will make you sleep into oblivion. Okay, one last quick thing is like I watched this fucking skit yesterday, this fucking joke yesterday by Robin Williams. Milk of Amnesia. Sorry. I watched this yesterday and I thought it was fucking hilarious. So, and since since someone was talking about having trouble falling asleep, I thought this might be funny.
Is it true you were on the same drug, that drug that Michael Jackson...
Propofol, which his nickname is Milk of Amnesia. And it's Michael Jackson was taking Propofol to sleep, which is like doing chemotherapy because you're tired of shaving your head. It's like a drug. You wake up. I woke up from my heart surgery after Propofol. I had the surgery in Cleveland. After Propofol, I woke up from the surgery and went, where am I? And they went, Cleveland. And I went, why? And I looked down and there was wires and everything. I went, oh, I get it. It's a devastatingly powerful drug. It has to be administered in a hospital situation, and he was doing it at home. So it's God, dude.
That is like, oh, that's so, that is so fucked, dude. Oh my god. Sorry, that I was watching this because I was dying, because I was like dying of fucking anxiety before my exam, and I was watching that, and it just made me feel a little better. So I thought it was fitting right now. Give us so much No, Romero, I agree. I'm not saying like it's a bad thing. I'm just saying like the amount of detail put into like immersion here is wild. Like that would be like in a novel set in like today's world, someone walks in and they're like, So Ramiro sat down at his table and he began typing on his ACO 3360 keyboard that was 10 keyless and then had blue micro like fucking what the fuck are these called? Fuck man, I can't remember the company, but like clicky blue switches. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Just say keyboard. Holy shit, that is wild. That's so much detail. I love it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying like that's like so much detail to go into. Good for him. Very carefully and aware of the need to maintain secrecy, Klein stole a glance at the receding figures as he complimented them. He focused on his work again and continued tapping on the typewriter. Just as he was about to complete his special application, Leonard Mitchell came out of the restroom. He looked around while he buttoned his shirt. There was an unrestrained beauty in his messy hair. Excuse me? What's the report you're writing? Leonard looked at the clerk's office as he leaned against the doorframe. With his right foot tiptoed to balance himself and his hand tucked into his pocket, his green eyes examined Klein with interest. Klein typed the last word and the last punctuation mark and he turned his head. Special application. Special application? Leonard asked. Klein picked up the paper and skimmed through it. Casually explained, a special application to advance to sequence 8. Sorry. Immersion is everything? Yeah. It's actually crazy how much world building is done. Like, it's wild. Seems I have some skill in... Still have some skill in scamming consequence of having India as a next door neighbor. Hold on. LTM, we gotta know whether Ramiro's keyboard is QWERTY or... yes, absolutely. Yeah, you know, it's like, yes, apologies. See, I forgot to mention that, Justin. See, you're like one level ahead of me. You're right. Leonard suddenly coughed vigorously. He calmed himself and asked, digest? Bro, you know quite a bit. Dude, is he a fucking transmigrator too? I've never heard anyone say bro in this world. Klein held his special application, walked before Leonard. He lifted his eyebrow and said, yes. Hold on. What is happening? Like, I don't think he's a transmigrator because, like, conceptually, in terms of just story building, story writing, it'd be really weird for there to be a transmigrator this close, this early on. But like, that is crazy. I've never heard anyone say bro in this world. That word seems so out of place. Then he looked into his eyes and added softly with a chuckle, I remember someone told me that there are some people who are special, people who can do things that others can't, such as me, such as you. Leonard was suddenly at a loss for words. He could only change his standing posture and take his hands out of his pocket to cross them in front of his chest. He opened his mouth and finally organized his words. He said in a low voice, don't you think that's a little risky? As he already knew about digesting, he definitely understood that my advancement has no risk of losing control. Is he referring to the attention from the higher-ups in the church? Klein explained while in thought. Leonard, do you remember the first task that we worked on together? We were merely tracking kidnappers, but when we realized the room opposite had some clues about the indigenous family notebook, he repeated what he mentioned to Dunn once. Leonard's expression grew heavy. He nodded in agreement slightly. He muttered to himself and said, maybe I have to hurry up. Bro could be a word popularized by Roselle. He did a similar thing with cool. Maybe. I just, yeah, I don't know. It just felt really out of place. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anyone use that word before. That feels wild. But, like, again, it could just be in there and just not be that. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it. This guy, sure, yes. Wait, hold on. Leonard's expression grew heavy. As he nodded in agreement slightly, he muttered to himself and said, maybe I have to hurry up. Just as he finished, he looked at Klein and flashed a smile. Aren't you going to share your experience with us? The experience to quickly grasp a potion and avoid the risk of losing control? This guy sure can put on a facade quickly. I'm more than willing to. Because obviously he knows, because he said digest. You know quite a bit. So that means like he knows about it too. He was planning to seize the opportunity today to remind the Nighthawk teammates on how to minimize the risk of losing control. Of course, to maintain his personal security, he couldn't just say it as straightforwardly as he did to Dunn. At most, he could describe the idea vaguely, in a way that wouldn't alert anyone who was sent down by the higher-ups. Could be the translator was too tired to write a different word? Maybe, yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess I got... That's fair, too. I gotta remember. Yeah, translating from... Was this originally written in Mandarin or Cantonese? Original... Original language by... TM? What is this written in? It's in Mandarin. Okay, yeah. So that like translation is just nightmarishly difficult. Man, yeah. So yeah, translation from Mandarin to English is nightmarishly difficult. So that could just be the case. From what I understand, Cantonese is a little bit easier to translate, but again, I'm no expert in the topic at all, so take that with a grain of salt. Okay, let's do it now, Leonard impatiently dragged Klein to the Nighthawk's recreation room. At that very moment, other than Royale, who was taking her shift at Chainus Gate, Fry, Kenley, and Seekatron were there playing cards. Everyone! Everyone! Leonard knocked on the half-closed door. Let me introduce this man right here. Klein Moretti, who has fully grasped a potion in a month and a half. This guy's so dramatic, Klein suddenly felt. What? Even Seekatron, the author who wasn't famous and barely sold any books, cocked her head sideways, as though she was testing her hearing ability. Leonard, don't joke around. You're always exaggerating things. Leonard covered his mouth helplessly. Fry held his cards as he looked at Klein. He held quiet for a while and said, "Are you sure that you've already grasped the potion?" "Yes." Klein could feel his concern as he nodded confidently. There was an obvious indication. "What? Really?" Kenley shouted with a delayed response. Leonard chuckled as he pointed at the paper in Leonard's hand. This is his special application that he's gonna hand in. The application to advance to Sequence 8. How did you do it? Seekatron had so many questions, but she only voiced the one concern that the one that concerned her most after taking a deep breath. She was normally quiet and elegant, but now she had a burning passion in her eyes that couldn't be suppressed. Klein found a chair and sat down. He lowered his voice. "I found an inspiration from the maxim of the Mystery Priors. Do as you wish, but do no harm," Leonard supplemented. "Yes, according to our confidential information, following this maxim gives the Mystery Prior a lower probability of losing control." Klein explained what he learned from old Neil. "After that, Madame Daly's example gave me a better understanding of the process." "Spirit medium Daly?" Kenley asked in reply, hoping to gain confirmation. "Yes, Madame Daly handed in her special application before. She only used 2 years to become a spirit medium from a corpse collector. She once told old Neil that she wanted to be a real spirit medium," Klein explained in detail. "With the experience I gained at the Divination Club and the corresponding feedback I received, I gradually concluded my seer principles. Then I followed them strictly to become a real seer. When I did so, I realized that the speed at which I grasped the potion became much faster." As they listened to Klein's recounts, Fry, Sika, and the rest fell into deep thought. Even Leonard pretended to be thinking. What a little shit. "I'm going to hand in my special application." Klein waved the paper in his hand. "If you have any problems, please ask me privately." "All right," Fry replied coldly with a nod. Klein left the recreation room and knocked on the door to the captain's office. He sat down opposite to Dunn. He then picked up a pencil and an ink pad. He signed and stamped with his thumbprint. Did they still stamp thumbprints in Victorian era? Were there still thumbprints in... I don't know the answer to this, unfortunately. I'm late. Time to go back. I appreciate that sound. You really don't have to, but if you're interested, we did a lot of screwing around today. We talked about medicine, scamming, a lot of stuff. I don't know what I don't know what we're on today, but maybe I guess I feel a lot lighter now that I'm done my tax exam, so I'm just having a good time, really. Yes. Hold on. Yes, client enough to recreation stamp. Captain, this is my special application. After that, he passed the paper to Dunn with both hands. Dunn looked at it carefully and put down the application. I'll submit it to the Holy Cathedral as soon as possible. You should prepare to be examined, perhaps next week or the following. Okay, so his getting potion 8 has to happen in like 10 chapters, right? Holy shit. I feel like I've said this 4 times at this point, but like it has to happen soon. Come on. It was said earlier that Roselle developed some methods for identifying people using their fingerprints. Oh, okay, interesting. I don't recall that. Thanks, Dr. Z. Alright, Client stood up and took a deep breath and nodded seriously. He stood up, exited the captain's office, and closed the door behind him. During the process, he thought about the application he had sent in. There was a thought that popped in his head. I wonder what kind of examination it'll be. Copium, whiz. Copium? Wait, what? Oh, yeah, Copium that's coming. No, like, seriously, it has to come in, like, 10 chapters or so, right? Come on! This motherfucker got sequence 1 at what? Like, chapter 30? 40? It's been 110, 120 chapters. This motherfucker's not improving at all. Get your shit together. I am, of course, exaggerating. He's improved a lot, but... Alright, let me just quickly play a game of Nerdle, rest my throat a little bit, we'll talk, and then we'll get back to it. Last time I watched one of your streams, I was at work. Data roaming took my phone from 95 to 7. Shit, dude. Oh. Sound. Jeez, sorry about that. I had such a long day today. I had my phone with me, my iPad, and my Mac and my laptop. And then I had a power bank because my phone's been dying so quickly recently. I don't know what's happening. So like I got to school at like 7 a.m. and my exam was at 7 p.m. because I needed to study, dude. I didn't study at all for tax. So I got there and I had to charge my phone twice in that day because I was using it so much. It was just, what a nightmare. That is not it at all. Maybe you need a new yeah, Jin, I think so. What I'm probably gonna end up doing at this point is, or what I generally end up doing is I will just wait until, I will just wait until it gets a little bit worse where like I can't take it anymore, and then I have AppleCare on my phone. I'll just smash my phone, get a new one, and just call it a night. So yeah, but it's gonna need to happen soon because my shit is it's not good. 18 minus 9. Oh my god, fuck's sake, this is not. Wait, what? Does that not compute? 6, 7. Oh, 7 minus 16. I'm stupid. No. My battery health is 80%. Oh, that's a good question. I feel like mine was like 91 the last time I checked. What's it at right now? $89, but it's lying to me. There's no shot. 9 times 2 minus 1 equals 17. How's that? Okay. So it's probably a 1-digit answer. Only time it's ever died that quick. I could never use an apple. Okay, I never understood. Like, I get the reasoning, Romero. I do, but like, I just never understood that. Like, what are you customizing on your phone? I don't understand. So let's do like 12 times. It's 144. So 12 times like 4. Let's say. That's too early. 48 minus that would give -1. That'd be a 1-digit answer, so that can't be 21 minus times 8. What is this? What would this work out to? 12 times 8. Yeah, should I be able to do this in my head? Yes. Will I? No. 8 is 96, so that doesn't work either. So like, what if it's 14 times 8 equals 80, 32, 112? See, I'm not bad at math. I just don't like doing it in my head unless I have to. I have a Sony phone. I wanted to get the Pixel. You want to get a Pixel to customize the to get a custom OS called Graphite? Why would you? Okay, I'm so curious, Romero. Why bother? Like, here's the answer. Like, why? Sorry, here's the question. Why bother doing all that? That's my question. My phone's battery was cooked after accidentally falling asleep during a gacha grind. Oh, holy shit. So are you telling me you just left like a gacha game on it? On for like 8 hours and then it's just been cooked? Oh, holy shit. That's gotta suck. 24 maybe? Times 7 equals... I'm not doing that in my head. 168. That definitely can't be, but because 168 all don't appear. Oh my fucking god. Oh, I'm so done. Holy shit, we're so screwed. So, what if it's like 42 times 7? It can't be 7. It can't be 2. It's got to be 4 again. So like 160. Wait, what? 164? Wait, no. 168. Sorry. Oh, I can't get this. Okay. Sort of hobby, sort of fun. I also don't use my phone much. My daily... Romero, if I told you my screen time, you'd have a stroke. I will probably have a stroke if I look at it again. I can't. It's not a point of pride, okay? We don't... Alright, so I said 50... Okay, yeah, so we'll try to get to 58, and then at night we can try to get to like 61, 62 maybe. And then tomorrow, we are getting this motherfucker to sequence 8. He has to be close. Oh my god. I'm losing my mind. At this point, it's literally just a point of pride, because I feel like I've said it so many times, it feels cowardly to just give up on it at this point. That's why I'm not giving up on it. I'm mostly on PC. I spent a lot of time on my computer and MacBook too, just for like, because I edit on my MacBook because I like have the software for it. And then like a lot of time on the computer, obviously, for editing or playing games and stuff. I don't actually game much anymore, which is kind of sad, but I just don't have the time for it. Maybe once I'm done school, I'll have time for it again. By the way, would you guys be interested in like some kind of gaming streams in the future? Obviously not right now, because like I want to try to speed run through Lord of the Mysteries as fast as I can, but like in the future. Okay, urgent meeting. You're hallucinating. You never saw the clown chapter. Yeah, I just already missed it. After collecting himself, Klein went down to the basement and walked to Chanis Gate. He knocked on the door to the guard room. Inside, Royale had already packed her personal belongings. She had already smoothed her hair and stood up when she saw the person taking over her shift. Make it to 162 and then stop there, because the chapters right after deserve their own stream. Okay, that sounds good. What's your current time? I don't know when. So tonight would play Monster Hunter. I don't have Monster Hunter, but I mean, nor have I. But here's the thing: I've never played any of the Monster Hunters, so I don't know what they would look like. I know what you guys want me to play. Of course, you want me to play the solo leveling Rise game, right? No, I'm just kidding. I know Romero would love Wuthering Waves. Elden Ring, we could definitely do Elden Ring. I think I already have it downloaded too, which would be cool. DLC. I have not actually played the Elden Ring DLC, so we could do that. We could play it. That might be a 24-hour stream because, boys, I haven't played Souls game in a while, so it's gonna take a little while for my reflexes to kick back. Okay. Wait, what did I say? Yeah, I like roguelikes. Like I loved Hades, like fucking everyone did. I haven't played Hades 2 though. What blasphemy did I say? What did I say? Did I say something? Am I missing it? I don't know. Someone will let me know. DLC was so good. Nightwalker. Yeah, of course you can, bud. Any art or anything you make, always. So how late am I? You are. I think we start on 1:52, so you're just about halfway. I'm still gonna be streaming for like another hour and a half, 2 hours or something. So like we've got time. If I'm getting to I said solo. I said solo leveling. Yes. Okay. Sorry. So if since Milos said someone said 162, right? Or get to 162 in the second stream. So we'll try to get to 158 maybe. We'll try to get to 158 on this one, then we can do 59, 60, 61, 62 4-chapter stream. That'd be like an hour and a half, 2 hours probably for that stream, and then we can do another 8 or 9, maybe 10 chapters tomorrow. See how I'm doing, because right now I'm almost 3 chapters in, and like I feel great. My throat doesn't hurt much. I feel good. I think all I really needed was like a day in between to let my throat really recover. Like I feel great. Yes. After greeting each other with a nod, Klein suddenly said, "I've had some success with grasping my potion and shared my experiences with Fry and the rest. You can ask them about it." Royale, who typically didn't have much expression, looked at Klein with a little shock. Her lips quivered as she said, "All right." Who quivered? "Madam, let's hope that you can still maintain your calm composure in a while. There are already a bunch of dazed people sitting in the recreation room right now." Klein laughed and made his way behind the table, expertly taking out the tin can which Dunsmith used to store his Fermo coffee. "It's never too late practicing now. I can make my own anime girl art." Yes. What other purpose has there existed? A peak of art beyond anime waifus? Not possibly. By the way, I like making monocles on my characters. No, hey, dude, artist interpretation. Do you Nightwalker? Don't worry about what anyone else is gonna think about it. All right. Nagito, thanks for popping by. How you doing? By the way, I think yes, yeah, no worries, Nightwalker. Yes. After making himself a cup of aromatic. How the fuck would you pronounce that word? Aromatic. Okay. Aromatic coffee, Klein sat down and relaxed. He looked out at the lonely hallway and allowed his thoughts to roam free. Let's hope Mr. Azek's mission is successful and doesn't leave any clues behind. Well, even if they're clues, I can just pretend not to notice them. Yeah, but everyone else might notice them, you dunce. I wonder where the mutated sun emblem is sealed in Chanis Gate. Since it doesn't possess any living qualities, it only needs a little space. Come to think of it, I haven't been inside Chanis Gate. I'm not sure what it looks like inside. To be able to keep the weird sealed artifacts of varying sizes safe and maintain surveillance, it must be quite special indeed. For example, the ashes of Saint Celino. Sorry, I'm late. You literally started streaming on math class. No worries at all, Nagito. I appreciate you popping by at all, bud. Oh, sorry. I feel like someone has to. Was it Jin? Oh, yes. What's your current time? I don't know what tonight looks like. Yes, sorry, Jin. I read that and then I think I got off track. So I'm gonna try to stream for like another hour and a half ish right now, and then Ramiro said Easy's planning on streaming, I think, around 6 o'clock-ish my time. Let's assume he streams for like 3 hours. So for me, it would be... By the time I get done stream, it would probably be... would be in like 7 hours or something. Approximating that. If you're in the Discord, which I think you are, if I'm remembering right, I'll of course give you guys a heads up. I try to give you guys like a 2-hour heads up. But again, it'll be also dependent on whenever Easy ends also. Yeah, because then I can take the time midday to get some videos ready, because I haven't posted a video in a little bit, and I really want to make a video on the Devil May Cry anime. I'm not sure if any of you have watched it, but that shit is so peak, dude. Yes, many thoughts streaked past Klein's head while he suddenly heard urgent footsteps. He focused and shot a look towards the door. He saw old Neil, wearing his classic black robe, appear in the corridor with the black carpet in his hands. He made his way into the guard room and said nothing, but instead observed Klein thoroughly. "Mr. Neil, did something happen?" Klein let out a dry chuckle and took a sip of his fragrant coffee. Old Neil sized him up inside to think that he would find inspiration from the maxim of the mystery priors in Daily. I have English class after 30 minutes? Oh yeah, no worries at all, Nugget. I appreciate you popping by at all, bud. No worries at all. Hope you have a good rest of your day at school. Enjoy English class. As much as you can enjoy English. I was never a fan. I was always more of a math person. I have to praise the goddess. I also have to thank you for your teachings. Klein gave a reply in all seriousness. Old Neil pulled back his chair and sat down. How good would it be if it was 20 years ago? Klein maintained a silence, for he knew old Neil wasn't allowed to consume any more potions because of his age and health, even if he completely digested the one he had right now. Under such circumstances, anything would have agitated him. My earliest memory was to quickly gain control of my potion from the maxim of the mystery prior. But regrettably, I wasn't embarking in the right direction. Daily successes did give me some clues, but I was already more than 50 years old back then, and had already given up on my efforts. I subconsciously thought that her success was the result of her genius, and that an average person wouldn't be able to emulate her achievements. He was silent for a few minutes before he lifted his head and looked at Klein. It sure is regrettable that only now do I understand what I've missed out on at this age. Old Neil should have had a faint understanding of the acting method. He immediately understood what happened after I shared my experiences. It wouldn't make too much of a difference. The church doesn't hold back sequence 8 corresponding to mystery prior. Oh, sorry, the church doesn't hold the sequence 8 corresponding to mystery prior. Perhaps the Holy Cathedral does have it. No. If they have it, they would tell us at least its name. It's also possible that the underground market might have it, old Neil muttered. He laughed and said, "At least I didn't leave control, and I've lived healthily for decades. Praise the lady." Yeah, no worries, Nightwalker. I'll check it out at the end of this chapter. Since you made it, I'll check it out at the end of the chapter instead of at the end of stream. Yeah, so just let me get through this chapter and then we'll check it out, Nightwalker. No worries. And I've lived healthily for decades. Praise the lady. He drew a crimson moon in front of his chest and left the guard room a little dejected. He had lost his usual shrewd look. Klein looked at old Neil's back and suddenly let out a long sigh. He was even more perplexed as to why higher-ups of the church would hide the acting method. Klein collected himself after some time, placing his attention on the confidential information in the Nighthawks in front of him. Now, why would they hide the acting method? I still can't think of a good reason. It's like handicapping your own soldiers. I don't understand. Or unless there's like a negative that Klein just doesn't know yet. Because our current understanding is it decreases the chances of you losing control and helps you digest it faster. It's just a pure positive. But maybe there's a negative that we just don't know about yet. Ever since he pulled the youth from the City of Silver into the Tarot Club and learned that the City of Silver still used the ancient names for many things, he found it necessary to enhance his knowledge in these areas. Bye, Nagito. Have fun at English class, bud. like 3 hours. What is happening? I did my best for Ramiro. After some time, he heard another set of footsteps. These footsteps were slow and steady. At the same time, an image of Dunn Smith wearing a black windbreaker flashed past his mind. My spiritual senses have elevated after digesting the seer potion. He saw the captain in a few seconds later. A letter for ya. Dunn extended his right hand and flicked his wrist, tossing the letter over to Klein. Klein lifted his hand and tried to grab the letter, but be it his judgment or reaction, he missed. The letter fell onto the floor, leaving Klein's right hand extended awkwardly in the air. This is what it feels like. Oh, fuck's sakes. Hold on. This is what it feels like when someone throws you something and you fucking miss it and you're just standing there with your hand out. This is what it unironically feels like. I don't know why this isn't fucking 144p or whatever the fuck, but why are they all dog shit quality? Okay, like this is better. Like this is what it unironically feels like. Holy shit. Upon the sudden sullen atmosphere, his right hand became frigid. He then pulled it back towards his head and pretended to smooth out his hair. The light from the gas lamp isn't bright enough. Klein made a perfunctory statement casually. He bent his back and picked up the letter, giving it a cursory glance. Mr. Hornacis, it's a letter from Daxter Daxter, fuck it. He nodded in understanding and pulled open a drawer to retrieve a letter opener. According to the letter rules of the Nighthawks, if there was a clear and correct recipient, Roseanne and the rest of the clerks would give it to the person directly. If the recipient was anonymous or unknown, it would be handed over to Dunn. He could then ask around to make a decision. Klein thoroughly pried open the letter and took out the piece of paper within. He then quickly unfolded the piece of paper and read through it. He realized that the asylum doctor, Daxter, was looking for an urgent meeting at 2 in the afternoon. Has he obtained the telepathist formula, or was it something else? It's gotta be something else. I doubt he'd be in such a hurry to give you your shit. I did my sermon to the true creator today. Klein lifted the letter in his hand and looked at Dunn. Captain, my informant, the one from the psychology alchemist, wishes to meet me at 2 in the afternoon. Did he say anything else? Dunn said, as if he was expecting this. No. Klein shook his head. Dunn thought for a moment and said in a heavy voice, Get Leonard to watch over Chanis Gate for the time being. I'll go with you and hide somewhere. These urgent requests to meet sometimes can be a trap. I've heard many similar incidents. Furthermore, if it's something important, we can act quickly. Captain, you sure are experienced. Dude, Dunn is the fucking goat, dude. Love him. He, like... love him or hate him, but, like, my guy is just so on top of shit. He's always ready to go for his teammates. Not to mention being the most reliable and trustworthy captain without memory issues whenever we have something serious. Klein immediately nodded. All right. At 2 in the afternoon, inside the small shooting range of the Zootland Shooting Club, Klein looked at the target that was covered in bullet holes, then glanced at the doctor. What happened to you? What happened for you to look for the mercenaries at the Hound Pub in such a fluster? Only by doing so would the boss of the Hound Pub, Wright, hand the letter immediately to the Blackthorn Company instead of waiting for Klein to collect it himself. I am the most advanced no-lifer? Daxter observed Klein's expression and body language. He then responded softly, I found Hood Eugen a little abnormal recently. Hood Eugen was the patient from the mental asylum that had roped Daxter into the psychology alchemists. It's like a better version of Irvin? Are you talking about like Captain Irvin from Attack on Titan, Dr. Z? If someone doesn't like Dunn, they're the problem. Yes. Yes. What sort of abnormalities has he exhibited? Klein pressed. Daxter heaved a sigh of relief as he found a pillar of support. He said while deliberating his words, he seems to really have gone insane. Gone insane? Didn't Hood Eugens feign his illness and infiltrate the asylum in an attempt to influence the patients in order to gain or in order to train his mental abilities. Okay. Irvin is like the best captain, dude. Irvin is the go. Like, look at this man. He stood beside the armor titan and went, just a man. Just went, yeah, what's up? No fear at all. That guy's goated as fuck. No beyonder powers, nothing to speak of. He was my first fictional crush. Ah. Oh. Dude, what a fucking Chad. Look at this man. He's just staring at him like, what's up? You want the smoke, bitch? What's up? I don't know about all that. I mean, he might be in the future. But as of right now, dude, Irvin's... I don't know if you guys remember this when I say this, but like Irvin's speech when they're rushing the Beast Titan gives me chills to this day. Holy shit, that was so hard. Didn't Hood... yes. Has he really turned sick? Genuine insanity? I think so. Daxter paced around anxiously. I could hold a normal conversation with him in the past and receive guidance on how to use my Beyonder powers, but in the last few days his thought processes and condition have become really weird. I can barely communicate with him. He was just like my other patients, even though I've managed to get the telepathist formula as a result, but I can't determine if it's real or fake. I'm afraid there may be some uncontrollable changes that might occur. Sacrifice your... Yes. My soldiers do not buckle or yield when faced with the cruelty of this world. Our Captain Irvin, you're my fucking goat, dude. No matter. As a seer who has the mysterious world above the gray fog, I can determine if it's real or fake. Klein heaved a sigh of relief before creasing his eyebrows and asking, did he come into contact with anyone before he turned abnormal? Gotta ask my Flosh fans. Only the patients. I cannot guarantee that, though. I'm not in the asylum for the whole day. I also need time to rest. Klein nodded, as if it was something trivial. You're a Flosh fan? I see. Mills, have you even watched AOT? Don't worry. Don't worry, I'll send someone to protect you in secret. You should be able to find out who Hood Yugen has come into contact with as soon as possible. Also, you have to be careful. He might just be testing you. You could also report this to the member of the Psychology Alchemists and see how the higher-ups in the organization react. Alright, Daxter propped up his golden spectacles, recovering the calm of a spectator. He then took out a piece of paper and handed it over to Klein. This is the formula for the telepathist formula, but I can't guarantee its authenticity. We will verify it. Klein smiled in response. He looked at the piece of paper. Main ingredient, the complete pituitary gland of the mature rainbow salamander. 10 milliliters of spinal fluid of a Farsman rabbit. Supplementary ingredients, chestnut spore, 5 grams. Dragon tooth grass powder, 8 grams. 3 petals of pure white elf flowers. Pure water, 100 milliliters. Excellent, Klein praised. He folded a piece of paper and shoved it in the pocket of his tuxedo. After exchanging a few more words and ascertaining that the voices which Daxter were hearing were subsiding, Klein bade him farewell, but he cautiously made his way to the shooting range reserved for the Nighthawks. Dunn was waiting inside. Yeah, so Milos, you can't say Dunn is better if you haven't even watched it, bro. Imagine if and I know that you're saying, like, I was spoiled on everything, but, like, that's like me saying, like, reading up to here and then just leaving the fucking novel and saying, like, Irvin's way better, bro, objectively. It's like, well, hold the fucking phone. I don't know. Captain, the informant gave me the telepathist formula to thank me for helping him control the side effects of the potion, but he can't determine the authenticity of it. He handed the piece of paper to Dunn with a stern expression. Furthermore, he mentioned something else. Dunn read the formula as he listened to the concerns about Hood Yugen. After that, he nodded. I'll immediately assign manpower to the mental asylum under surveillance. You haven't had a professional training when it comes to these matters, and don't participate in this. Go back and guard Chanis Gate. I've read both, so my opinion is valid. Fair, but the fact that you're in this community also tells me that you might have some underlying biases, let's call it. But again, I'm not saying you guys are wrong by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I'm saying Dunn is fucking go. Okay, love the guy. Irvin, also love the dude. Currently, I think Irvin stands above where Dunn is for me. But again, that's like, Aaron did nothing wrong. I just need to say that. I don't know. I've pondered that. I don't know if I have the answer. I don't know. I think it's beyond me to say it. I think Aaron did what he felt was necessary. I don't know if he did something right or he did something wrong. That part I couldn't tell you on. With that said, he looked at Klein deep in his eyes. If we take this formula into account, you don't need to accumulate any more emeritus achievements. You can directly receive the clown potion after you pass the examination. Oh, let's go! My go. Okay, so what did I say? Did I say we'll get to 158 today? Everyone is entitled to their opinion, even if they're morally questionable. Yeah, I agree. Okay, 158, so we got like 3 more chapters, probably like an hour. Okay, so we'll be done by like 2-ish or so. Okay, cool. What is this? Okay, so if I do... It can't be 72, dude. Okay. If I do 72 times 2, that gets me to 144. This is the best I can think of. Let's go! Holy shit. Okay, that was so based. Holy shit. Abu, you just finished Lord of the Mysteries 10 minutes ago? Holy shit. Okay. Alright, well, careful on spoilers there, because I'm still really early in. like 10% of the way in now, so careful on spoilers, obviously. But congratulations. Okay. And I'm paying double for the clown formula, and all this because I originally wanted to be rewarded double for the same piece of work I did. Forget it. I don't have the opportunity to mention that I already have the formula to the clown potion. Klein took a deep breath and forced a smile. Hopefully, I can pass the examination smoothly. Anything under 10 out of 10 is invalid. He was more than happy with Dunn's decision for him to guard Chanis Gate. Not only was he lacking the professional ability to monitor and investigate, but his hand-to-hand combat was far from satisfactory. But Aaron reminds me of the state that one will get banned if name. I don't know what that means. Interesting. In terms of shooting, he was considered decent compared to the ordinary police. However, his teammates were all beyonders that have had their physical attributes enhanced. Even if they were marksmen, they were very close. As for hand-to-hand combat, Klein was merely a beginner. Don't worry, I won't spoil nothing. No way I would ruin peak like this for anyone. 10 out of 10. Based. If it just it's really good you said 10 out of 10. If you said anything lower, I think Ramiro and Milos both would have banned you instantly, so lucked out there. You could have said like a 9.5 and that would have been like immediate ban. Even with a slumber charm, a repose charm, and a dream charm, he was still considered a support class beyonder. It would be easy for him to deal with ordinary people, but he would be in danger if he came across with any beyonder who were adept at combat. I see Ramiro not liking Griffith. That's a low bar. Dude, who the fuck likes Griffith? Griffith is cancerous. Assuming we're talking about Berserk. If you're talking about another series, I don't know. But if you're talking about Berserk, Griffith is cancerous. What the fuck? Until I advance to sequence 8, become skilled in technique-based battles. and a master of handful of spells, I can only complete normal supernatural missions on my own. If I successfully steal the power of 3782 and make flaring sun charms, that'll be even better. It won't be impossible for me to win from a position of an underdog, Klein thought hopefully, as he slowly backed towards the security company. If I lost control, you can take use it to make the... The next morning, when he ended his shift and left Chanis Gate, the Nighthawk still hadn't obtained any useful information from monitoring Hodyugan. For now, they had to place their hopes on the informant's internal investigation. Just to make... yes. When he returned home, Klein had his breakfast quietly and lay down in his bedroom to sleep until noon. He woke up naturally, washed up and walked to the first floor, following the smell of cooked food. Melissa's preparing lunch? Klein, who looked at Benson, was reading the newspaper in the living room. Oh wait, Klein might be able to get like a decent chunk of money really soon, huh? Because he has the telepathist formula now. He can confirm it, assuming it's right, and then he could get like, I don't know, £1,000 from Audrey for it. Like, that'd be pretty based. Benson lowered the newspaper and said, yes, she has a guest visiting today. I wanted her to chat with her guest while I prepared lunch. Sorry, I think the music just turned off and my brain doesn't function accurately without it. I wanted her to chat with her guests while I prepared lunch, but she doesn't trust my cooking and took the guests into the kitchen. How rude. Benson, you actually managed to quickly realize that Melissa detests your culinary skills? Klein held back the urge to laugh and walked towards the single-seat sofa as he asked, Melissa's guests? Yeah, you should know her. Elizabeth, when we met her at Selena's dinner banquet, Benson leaned back and continued to read his newspaper comfortably. Okay, I don't know. Dr. G apparently said something, but I didn't read it, and it's gone now, so... Alright, apparently it was a spoiler anyway, so that works out. Yes. Yes, you should know, Elizabeth. We met at Selena's dinner banquet. It wasn't only at the dinner banquet. She came to visit me for real. Klein turned around to look at the kitchen with a stunned expression. Just then, Melissa walked out carrying some plates, and Elizabeth followed behind. She was also wearing an apron. Klein, you're up already? I was just planning on waking you up. Melissa laid the plates on the dinner table delightedly as she said, This is Elizabeth. You know her. Hello, Klein. Elizabeth's adorable holy shit. Elizabeth's adorable face flashed a splendid smile as she greeted him. Klein and 16-year-olds again? Klein replied gently and politely. As they greeted, Melissa blinked and spoke seriously. Elizabeth will follow us to the Family Servants Assistance Association later. They hire a few maidservants at home, so she has experience in that. Her opinion might be helpful. Actually, we've already drawn up the requirements for picking up a maidservant. Listen to this and see if there's anything that needs to be added. Melissa wiped her hands on her apron and took out a piece of paper from her pocket. Let me know if you can hear okay, because I'm moving it a little below, I think, where it should be, but it's probably just easier in terms of visual. She opened it up and read it aloud. He does seem to have a type DSV. I mean, he's dodging the application. He's dodging the accusation so far, but you know, he keeps up this pattern. He doesn't have long. Healthy, hardworking and responsible, good at cooking, quiet, not rowdy, simple family background, looks ordinary. What the actual does looks ordinary mean? She read the requirements one by one while Klein and Melissa gawked at it with a vacant look. They never expected that hiring a maidservant would be so troublesome. It's a little low? Interesting. I can up that. That's no issue at all. Alright, okay. I'm curious. Okay, let's try this. Actually, fuck it. Okay, this should be better though. It might be too loud now. If it is, let me know and then I can adjust it again, but... Yes. But it's so calming. Melissa, weren't you against the idea of hiring a maidservant? Klein said subconsciously. Klein pursed her lips and nodded solemnly. Not really, it's pretty loud for me. Okay, well then fuck, it might be too loud now. Okay, let me know. I'll adjust it again if needed. Fuck it. Klein pursed her lips. Yes, I was against it, but as my opposition was in vain, I thought we should get it done properly. To be able to get it done well, we must be well prepared. Do you have anything you'd like to add? No, Klein and Benson shook their head in unison. After lunch, the four of them took a public carriage to the Assistants Association on Champagne Street. I'm not fucking reading all that every time, man. That's... How many chapters? Nightwalker, my plan is... I'm at 156 right now. My plan is to get to the end of 158. And then I'm going to do another stream on... in like 8 or 9 hours, depending on whenever Easy ends his stream, or if he's streaming today. And then get to 162 on that stream. 162, and then Miller said after 162, there's some chapters that should have their own streams, so we can do like 163 to like 170 or something tomorrow, or maybe a little more, depending on how I feel. It was similar to domestic help firms that Klein knew from his previous life, but it was also a little like a charity. They recorded the personal information and job requirements of different maidservants so that the clients could make their selections easier. You get paid to... I in fact do not get paid to read, Romero. They recorded the person... Yes. Part of the organization... yes. Part of the organization's funding came from charity organizations, and some came from a percentage of payments provided by employers. 163 to 168? I feel like I'll try to get to 170 if possible, just because, like, it's a nice round number. But if, like, 70 leaves us someplace off, let me know, and then I can leave it at 168 in that case. Or maybe do, like, 163 to 168 in the morning, and then do, like, 3 or 4 or 5 chapters in the afternoon if I have to. Paid in gratitude. Oh, yes, of course. How could I? Silly me. Yes, yes. And some came from a percentage of payments made by the employers. Upon entering the association, Klein and company were greeted warmly. A young lady in a pale yellow ruffled dress led them to some sofas. She smiled and asked, "How may I help you?" Benson, who was pushed forward by his brother and sister, said, "We need to hire a maidservant." "Do you have any requirements?" the lady asked, like clockwork. Benson recalled his sibling's lack of faith in his culinary skills and said sincerely, "Good at cooking." "Good at cooking?" The young lady creased her eyebrows and said, "To be frank, there are no excellent cooks among the maidservants. Why not hire a chef instead? If you need a female chef, we have a number of them." "There is no one who's good at cooking among the maidservants?" Melissa couldn't help but cut in. Maid finding chapters are, in my opinion, as important as cooking ones. You can read faster or skim them. 170 is fine. Okay, dope. Okay. If Nightwalker saying it's good if I skim them. Let me know if that's the case, and then I can just sort of skim them. I'll read certain parts of it, and then we can just get through them a little bit faster. And if that's the case, I can. Well, I guess all of that might be. All of that's the same. So, simping is a little romantic. Okay. Hold on. The young lady nodded and answered affirmatively. The maidservants are either daughters of low-class laborers or girls from the village. They have few opportunities to learn culinary abilities. Even after the simple training provided by the association, the most we can guarantee is their food won't make you sick. I mean, their sibling bonding. I'll just read it. I don't mind. I'm gonna get to 158 relatively soon anyway. Like, there's 2 chapters after this, and I'm pretty close to the end of this one, so it's all good. I'll just read it all the same. If it's boring for you guys, let me know. I can skim them, but... Melissa fell silent, finally realizing what it meant to have their situation outpace their plans. That is regrettable. Maybe we can amend our requirements to a maidservant who's willing and capable of learning to cook. Not bad. Melissa is quick. Benson is quick-witted. There's no need for me to interject. Yeah, like, I don't mind reading it at all. It's no issue for me. Yes. Sorry. No problem. During cooking training, we took notes of girls who had outstanding performance. The young lady replied with a professional smile. Any other requirements? Yes. Benson felt a burn of Melissa's gaze. He swallowed his saliva, took out the piece of paper from his pocket, and read the items one by one. The young lady listened quietly and only responded after a while. I'll check through the records and recommend some maidservants that fit the criteria. You don't have to decide immediately. You can pick 2 or 4 of them. We'll bring each of them over to cook for you once. You can decide who you can employ then. Of course, you'll have to pay the association some extra fees and also prepare your own ingredients. All right. Benson folded the paper and nodded politely. The young lady stood up and walked towards the office. She then turned around and took 2 steps back. She smiled and said, "Can you pass me that paper? I'm worried I'll forget some of your requirements." Yeah, I don't generally like skimming too, because skimming for me is like either I'm not reading it at all or I'm reading all of it. I'm just not saying it out loud. And at that point, like, nah. So Melissa making sure nothing sus happens. Yeah. No problem. Benson held back his urge to laugh. After a while, the young lady in the pale dress came out with a stack of documents and handed them to Benson. The information of the maidservants had their names, birth date, situation, family situation, facial description, health status, past experience, related traits, expected salary, and other information. God, that's a long sentence. Seizing the opportunity, when Benson and Melissa were reading the information, Elizabeth got closer and asked, "Don't you have any requirements?" Oh, Elizabeth got closer to Klein and asked, "Don't you have any requirements?" "Yes, but this information isn't specific enough." How fucking... no, sorry, I was going to make a joke. It's just, it's not going to land. It's fine. Klein answered perfunctorily. Good lord. Elizabeth got even more interested. "How would you choose?" Klein smiled and pointed at the hidden pendulum in his left sleeve. "I would divine the best person to become our maidservant by writing down a corresponding statement of each candidate and eliminating them one after another." Bro, I think I'm getting... I was trying to find the meme. It's a fucking video. It's not a meme, unfortunately. Elizabeth was stunned. The woman was too stunned to speak. Nodding vacantly after nearly 20 seconds, the simplest and most effective way. "I totally forgot that you're up." She didn't finish her sentence since Melissa, who had sharp senses, noticed they were whispering to each other. "Bro, Klein, you're not coming off well, man. She's a minor. Get yourself together, you fucking god." It's definitely because of the papers I write, not because of my PC. Oh, yes, of course. Not because you're typing on your computer all day. Of course. She looked at her best friend and her brother. She then showed an expression of deep thought. "Hey, sis, don't misunderstand. We're just talking normally." Klein coughed and picked up the information and casually read through them. Very soon, they picked up 3 candidates. They were asking for 4 soli, 8 pence for 5 soli, 2 pence per week. Okay, that's not much of a difference. Benson didn't haggle over the maidservant's pay, but instead discussed the percentage they would need to pay the association. After some friendly haggling, he successfully negotiated the price from the maidservant's 2 weeks to 1 week pay instead. However, he had to pay a transportation fee of 1 soli to bring them over to try their cooking. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know if it's like marriage calculations or like, hey, should I turn him over to the police calculations? I don't know. Klein is not a Diddy disciple. Hey, I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying he doing some sus things, okay? Just like maybe you just see how you're looking to the public, you know? Listen, I'm no child, but like if I was just, you know, talking to 16-year-olds all the time, people would be like, "That's a little weird, bro. I know you're just talking, just words. I totally get it, no problem. But it's a little weird." Yes. After that, Elizabeth bid the trio farewell and left while the siblings took a public carriage back to Daffodil Street. On the way back, Klein was getting uncomfortable under Melissa's scrutinizing gaze. When they got home, he went to the second floor directly. "Klein," Melissa called him in a serious tone. "If you want to get engaged with Elizabeth, you have to work harder." No. Her father is an important businessman, and her mother is the daughter of a baron. Wait, engaged? When did this happen? How far reaching is her concern? Wait, isn't Elizabeth like 15 or 16 or something? Hold on. They're in the Victorian... Wait, hold on. How old is Elizabeth? Elizabeth, LRTM. How old is she? Continue. Yeah, a girl about 15 years old. Hold on. Yeah. In Klein's defense, we don't know Lone's age of consent. Okay, Milos, I promise. Any time your argument relies on that sentence that you just typed in there, you're on the wrong side of history, man. You're on the wrong side of it. Anytime you have to say that sentence, not as a joke, you're on the wrong side of history. Just like wherever you're standing, you maybe go, maybe I'm on the wrong side of the line. Just a thought, okay? That's all I'm saying. You're young, so it doesn't really matter to you. I know, but I promise that sentence is never a good one. There is no context that makes it better. As a joke? Okay, well, well, you know what, man? It's hard to tell jokes in text, okay? It's hard to... Oh, shit. No, wait. I just realized. I didn't check Nightwalker's a photo when I promised him. Ooh, yes. Okay. I think I... Hold on. Let's get that. How much fucking shit came in, bro? Okay. That's a lot. Jeez. In her defense, I think it's the norm for her to think that is unlikely in these areas. No. I'm not saying anything for Melissa. I'm saying like it's more on Klein to not have that, not have it appear that way externally. Like, hey, you shouldn't be whispering to a 15-year-old. Just saying. I know I can see the conversation. It's all good, but still looks weird. Man, Dunn looks so much cooler than I imagine him in my head. Because all I ever think about when, is because of Klein, all I think about is like, oh, this guy's like senile. Like he just forgets shit. So like in my head, he's like a bumbling fool. But like I forget like how put together this man is. Like, holy shit, look at this guy. Look at that guy. That's an oil mogul that will steal every dollar from your fucking community and give value to the shareholders. That is a proper bureaucrat right there, bro. Holy shit. Oh, look at that jawline. This motherfucker's gonna cut glass with that thing, dude. Maybe Klein is a Minecraft YouTuber. Yes. This is more in line with what I'm imagining he looks like. Dunn, Klein, and Leonard. Klein, Leonard, Dunn. I would have imagined Dunn to be a lot taller than Klein, but no. Screw context. Only after marriage. I'm trying to take higher ground and make the new one. Oh, I'm not reading that, Dr. Z. I'm not reading that. Nor am I. I'm not. With receding hair. Does he have a receding hairline too? I thought that was just Benson. Or do they both have a receding hairline? I am just saying the resemblance is uncanny. Fars and Gio. How many fucking How much art of these two do you have, Milos? What is happening? How much art do you have? What? Everyone has a receding hairline? This is what the divination... oh, that looks so cute! This is the topaz room or whatever it is. Oh my god, that looks so cute! We can't say any of the good stuff because spoilers. I will get to it in time, I promise. I promise. My plan is like from a decent bit this week too, but from next week especially, I'm reading like 40 or 50 chapters a week. My plan is to get caught up with Easy, where he is in like 2 months tops. I don't know how long he's been reading, but I'm gonna just outpace the shit. Because when school's done, I'm applying to positions and stuff, but like I have a lot of free time for the moment, so I'm gonna stream like there's no tomorrow. Can I read this, Romero, or not? I'm gonna leave it for the moment. Let me know. Not the shipping art. That's 22 gigabytes. Oh, that looks so cute. Oh my god, Nightwalker, good job, man. Holy shit, that looks so cute. That dress, so cute. That hair, so well done. Good job, man. That's really well done. No, don't read. Okay, dope. I'm not sure if you're still here, Nightwalker, but that's really cute, man. Some art of the Moretti siblings. Where's Benson? Where is my receding hairline boy? Where is he? No, Benson, you can't cook. I'm gonna set the kitchen on fire. Easy will start having a panic attack. Well, hopefully, Dr. Z, because that'll be good for you guys. Typical Samila. The dude in the back is Klein. The two in the front are Melissa and... okay. In what universe is that a receding hairline? This motherfucker has a better hairline than me, bro. And like, I feel I have really good hair. This motherfucker has better hairline than me. This is wild. There's a true creator beneath force feet. Oh, wait. Moretti. Is that her frog? Does she keep her money in a frog pouch like Naruto? Easy will no longer have the... Yeah. Well, again, so I need to... I'm going to send him a message because I have an idea that I think would be a good idea. I don't want to say anything yet until I have a chance to talk to him. It feels unfair. But I have an idea that I feel like could be a really cool idea. I gotta reach out. Holy shit, dude. I don't know who drew this. That is beautiful. What the fuck? Holy shit. Wait, sending what clip now? Okay, yeah, okay. Hey, that's good. Hey, exactly. Use that. It'll be good for you guys because you get more content out of it. It's a win-win for everybody, and then it's good for me because I'm streaming more. I'm getting more thing. Oh, did he, Romero? Okay, that's good. Because I have an idea that I hope he'll like. It's not completely fleshed out yet, but what I thought was a really cool idea. I'm gonna send him a message later. See if maybe he's receptive to it, or how we can make it work. Because I have a idea, at least what I think's a cool idea. So we'll see. Okay, so we're gonna do 2 more chapters. For fuck's sakes, all right. We did so much chatting today. I'm so much slower than I normally should be. All right, give me 2 minutes. I'm just gonna run to the washroom, and then we'll do the last 2 chapters, and then we'll be. Bro is threatening easy. Yeah. well, I'm not holding a gun to his head. What the fuck? I'll be back in a second, guys. Give me 2 seconds. By the way, I do need to figure out like other screens and stuff for like when I'm like pausing the stream or whatever, like screens for that shit. I need to figure out how to do. It's not actually how to do that. Like I have them downloaded. I just need to actually get it input into OBS. Finally caught up with all the artists. Dude, Milos, you have so much fucking art, dude. Holy shit. Alright, watch this. I'm gonna run to the washroom. Someone's gonna join in stream and be like, are these people just watching nothing? What the fuck's happening here? I'll be back in 1 second. I'm back. That wasn't too long. All right. Threaten easy more. I didn't threaten him at all. I just said like I'll catch up to him and then that way we can like we can do stuff together, right? Cuz right now I can't do anything with him cuz like the difference in what we know is so like he's almost exactly 200 chapters ahead of me. But the flip side is, not too long ago at all, he was like 250 chapters ahead of me. And my reading speed's getting better and better, I think. So, and then I'm going to have like an order of magnitude more time exactly a week from now. So, we're just going to be fucking steamrolling through this bitch very quick. All right. Item of his dreams. I download all of the LOTM images. No, we are not. Klein didn't have the chance to retort before Benson interrupted with a smile. Although Elizabeth is indeed a little young, and her family is more outstanding than ours, I find the two of you suitable for each other. Hold the fucking phone, Benson. But you might have to wait a few more years. She's still studying at public school and wants to enter university. Marriage should be something only to consider only 6 or 7 years later. Of course, you can get engaged sooner. Can you guys not think that far ahead? I do not fancy Elizabeth. Or, well, more accurately, I don't fancy a girl who's younger than me by too much. I prefer girls who are more mature. 4s incoming? What the fuck? Truthfully, I can accept anyone with a reasonable age gap, just not now, he added inwardly. You like girls who are more mature? Then you should quickly settle the issue regarding your marriage. Klein couldn't understand his leap in logic. Why? Melissa explained, you'll be about 25 when you finish saving up for marriage. Girls that are more mature than you will end up married or engaged when you enter that age. Do you want to chase a widow? What the fuck? Klein thought to himself. Benson wore a smile and refuted his sister. Melissa, you don't understand. In this day and age, it isn't rare to see a woman who is in her 30s and isn't married or engaged in the middle class. They are mostly followers of the goddess and all with the ability to provide for themselves. They'd rather be single than stuck in a marriage they're unsatisfied with. Yes, that's what I read from the Family magazine. Dude, Benson is such a feminist. What the fuck? My guy. Wait, hold on. Well, okay, yes, but okay. So again, I've never thought slightly threatening. I'll catch up to you. That's not what I did. Is that what it came out as? I didn't intend for it. Hold on. But like that's what I'm saying. Like imagine again, I've never seen any of Easy's streams because well, like I pop by to say hi or whatever, but like I don't watch any of them because again, I can't for spoiler reasons. But here's the thing: imagine if we could like theory craft together, if we're like relatively similar, that'd be so based. Because then that way we could like regulate each other's theories, right? Because my theories are well frankly not that outlandish. They're because I don't really I don't do a lot of theory crafting. I do like extrapolation from data I have, but like I don't do a lot of theory crafting because it's just not how my brain works. But it seems like he's someone who's really like out there in terms of his theories and stuff, which is really good because like he can give me like an outlandish theory and then I can like try to stave off stuff that I don't understand, and then we can regulate our theories with each other and make like really good theories. It's like that's what I'm imagining. That'd be really based, if that makes sense. Hold on. Benson is single too after all. Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah, Benson is, and it would be pretty weird for a younger brother to get married when the older brother isn't. No, we're the ones that threaten Easy with your read of speeding. Yeah, but like from what I see, like Easy streams are like ridiculous. Like I'll see this motherfucker do a 10 chapter stream. I would have a stroke if I thought about one, dude. Believers of the Evernight Goddess are followers of gender equality as a divine command. Oh, based. Okay. My real queen, the goddess. What the fuck? Easy's theories are absolutely bonkers. Yeah, like, so like, it wasn't threatening, but we can make it threatening. Out of context clips. Okay, hold on. This motherfucker's gonna be like, dude, we've never talked. You're just talking shit about me. Is that so? Melissa was a 16-year-old girl after all. She didn't have a great understanding concerning matters like this. Upon seeing his siblings getting roused up from the conversation, Klein coughed. What I meant by mature is by mental state. They don't need to be older than me. Furthermore, the person that should be worried about marriage is Benson. I'm sorry, brother. I had no choice, he apologized in his heart. Melissa froze for a moment. That's right! Benson was just about to elaborate on the marital problems of the middle class when he started shivering. He looked at his sister who was staring at him and said, I am now at the cusp of a turning point in my life. I have to devote all of my attention to studying. I will only be confident of chasing after my desired girl when I have found a job I'm satisfied with and have a reasonable amount of savings. Only then will I be able to provide her with a good life. Melissa and Klein froze and said in unison, You have a girl you fancy? Benson, who had merely given a perfunctory answer, was shocked. No, I was only giving an example. In a dark, gloomy house of Backland, Hilstonborough. Please don't bring the goddess into the discussion just yet. That's... Okay, DSV, I'm not reading that comment, bro. That's wild. I mean, in fairness, anyone from like anyone who's had like the marriage discussion with their parents will just will always do that. Like anything to stop the conversation, bro. Whatever. Bro, I'm just doing whatever in my power to explain to Easy what he's reading. When I'm on, like, as in, like, the only thing I remember, Miro, is that one stream I popped by. I was there for like maybe 5 minutes just to say hi or whatever, and I see you like message like, hey, can you pop in a voice chat really quick, and then you like explain something to him. He's like, oh, okay, thanks. And then he goes back to reading, which is so funny. You know they're bad, but I have never done yes, you shouldn't either, Milos. You're a child. A middle-aged man with graying hair sat silently on a rocking chair in front of an unlit fireplace with a dark-colored pipe in his hand. He looked at the guest on the sofa. This man sat on a chair and was looking menacing. That's all I'm reading, bro. He was the master of this building. Oh, fuck me. Never mind. I thought it was the fucking ship. I thought it was the fucking pirate. Fuck. That'd have been hilarious. He was the master of this building, Isengard Stanton, a private detective with notable fame. But he didn't set up an office, merely hiring assistants to assist him. Okay, that is like tautologically true. You didn't have to say that. You hired assistants. They are there to assist you. That's like tautologically true. You don't need that last bit. But again, translation errors and stuff, I get it. Isengard, who was dressed in a white shirt and black vest, brought the pipe to his lips and inhaled in an intoxicated manner before slowly exhaling. Wait, hold on. If I had to go into voice chat with him to explain, yeah, if you take them inside a hospital, they are not drugs. No, they're still drugs. They're just... Oh, they're medicine. Yeah, I guess. But... Well, maybe. Maybe, Dr. Z. I guess they're like, to add more to your sentence, if you take them inside a hospital under the supervision of a medical professional, they're medicine. Because, like, you could go into a hospital and do cocaine in the hospital bathroom, doesn't make it a medicine, right? Isengard, who was dressed in a white shirt and black vest, brought the pipe to his lips and inhaled in an intoxicated manner before slowly exhaling. The fee for a 30-minute consultation is £1. If I were you, I wouldn't waste a second. They literally have a place in the hospital called a drugstore. Okay, Ramiro, thanks. The two ladies on the sofa across from him were Forswall and Gio. They had found materials relating to the Rear Admiral and wanted to ask the detective to consolidate the habits and actions of the target. Of course, they had removed his name and changed the description regarding the supernatural incidents. Gio handed the folder containing the documents to Isengard's assistant, a brown-haired young man wearing golden-framed spectacles. Mr. Detective, I hope that you can find habits in the target's actions using the materials we have provided. Even though she wasn't tall, Gio had an air of authority when she sat up straight and spoke with a deep voice. Yeah, she's like 4'10", bro. She's fucking like tall as nutsack. Isengard stared at her and received the docket from his assistant. He opened the folder and took out the material within. He set down the pipe and focused on reading page after page without missing a single one. 10 minutes later, this gentleman slowly tapped his handle. Dude, what a bitch. This guy is charging £1 per half hour and then takes 10 minutes to read notes. What a selfish asshole. Read the notes on your own time, dickhead. Take notes on the detective? Really? Okay. Okay. Isengard. Master Detective in Backland. Basically the Sherlock Holmes of this universe. Dope. Okay. Wait, I didn't say he was. This guy's manufacturing. Like, seriously, okay, no, Ramiro, you understand that's fucking wild though, right? Like, if you're paying me by the hour and I hand you a document and then you take the time to read the document in front of me instead of doing it on your own time, motherfucker, bro, I'm here. Talk to me while I'm here and then you can read about it later on your own time. You're not reading, especially if I'm paying you £1 for 30 minutes and you spend 10 minutes reading the documents, you're a bitch. Bro, that's wild. And like, hey, the really good business acumen, don't get me wrong, you're getting up so much money here, but fuck, dude. If he gets the job done in the time, it's fine. No, I guess, yeah. But still, like, that's, no. It's bad principle, okay? Yes. The target has an obsession with the wind. He won't stay for long in a polluted area of Backland, the capital of dust. In other words, he could be staying at the Empress Borough, Westborough, Hillstonborough, Cherwood Borough, or the suburbs of the North Borough. The target is a psychotic serial killer with the need to kill someone every day. The most logical thing he could do is target the vagrants that have nowhere to go. Even the police have no records of the number of vagrants in Backland. The target wouldn't be living in an area too close or too far from the Northborough or Backland Bridge, which have the highest concentration of vagrants. It would be the act of someone unsophisticated to search for victims too close to him. That isn't consistent with your description. If the target has to spend a large amount of time before he can find someone to murder, then he might lose control of his desires and commit crimes that would expose him. Reasonable deduction there. Yeah, I agree. It's because he can solve the case in the remaining time. Yeah, still, in that case, I'd rather you complete the case in 20 minutes and then give me like a third of a pound back, bro. Fuck you. The target is an experienced sailor and has exceptional mobility in the water. A reasonable deduction would be that he wouldn't live somewhere too far from the water. If something unexpected happens, it would be his best means of escape. In summary, we can outline the possible radius of the activity for the victim. Of the target. He should be living somewhere close to the Backland Bridge, perhaps somewhere close to the banks of the Tussock River, the Westborough, or the Cherwood Borough. I can only deduce this from the materials you have given. Even though they didn't understand all of it, his deductions seemed to make sense. I concur. Gio and Forbes looked at each other and nodded. They took back the materials and stood up to leave. Seeing his assistant send off the two ladies, Isengard stole a bronze item from his vest pocket. It was an open paperback book. In the middle of the book was a vertical eye. Like the true creator. Interesting. Isengard rocked his chair, rubbing the item softly while muttering to himself. He has infiltrated Backland? Holy shit, he knew. He's technically on the case for those 10 minutes since he's using the notes. Technically true. I don't know. Still, it feels wrong. In a particular basement of the Prince Harbor, the hanged man Alger sat in a chair, looking coldly at a struggling man. The man was dressed like a sailor. His head was enveloped by a film of pale blue water, and his face was purple from holding his breath. He was scratching at the film on his face with both hands, but all he could do was flick droplets of liquid. It's a book and an eye. A book and an eye. Could it be the Church of Knowledge or some shit? I don't fucking know. Sound! Thanks for popping by, bud. A dog shit workday. Sorry, bud. Everything okay? He was scratching. Finally, he could no longer hold his breath and gave a signal of submission. Alger smiled and nonchalantly clapped his hands. The thin film of water dispersed, turning the droplets that fell into the water. Whoa, that is cool. No, he did deliver. No, that's fair. Yeah. The sailor took a deep breath and coughed violently. He coughed so hard that it tugged at his heart and lungs. Waiting for the man to recover, Alger leaned back and he emulated the peaceful and calm tone of the fool. Tell me the reason the Admiral went to Backland. He's there to complete a commission. I'm not sure about the details. The pirate had completely lost the will to resist. He answered honestly. All I know is that he might receive something that he wants. Kilongos once boasted in front of us. He said that if this mission was a success, he would be able to obtain something he dreamed of getting for a long time. The 4 pirate kings would then become the 5 pirate kings. An object he's been dreaming of obtaining. Alger knitted his eyebrows and slipped into deep thought. The four, what the fuck are they called? The 4 Yonkos from One Piece, I see. Klein didn't rest on Monday morning. He followed his plan and continued his investigation on the building with red chimneys and Tingen. Unfortunately, he didn't come across his target. He returned home near noon. He heated up the leftovers from yesterday's dinner and paired them with bread before taking an hour's nap. At about 20 minutes to 3 in the afternoon, Klein took his book and sealed the room with a wall of spirituality, once again entering the mysterious world above the grey fog. He probably wants to at about 20 minutes to 3. Oh, I see. It's the Tarot Club. I see. In the City of Silver, Derek Burge was sweating on the practice grounds. His vision suddenly became blurred as a thick, heavy fog entered his view. He saw the Fool sitting high above, deep within the fog. He froze, stopped whatever he was doing, and bowed his head. When the illusion vanished, he counted his heartbeats silently and carried his silver sword to a rest area quickly. 1,000 heartbeats later, he locked himself in a bathroom. He couldn't find anywhere else. He was like, bathroom, I'll have to do. Hopefully it's not like a... Hopefully it's not a fucking NA bathroom, a public bathroom with a shit ton of fucking openings everywhere. After about 10 breaths, he saw the red light swell all around him and swallow him in an instant. Above the grey fog, Klein leaned back into his chair and tapped his left molar to stealthily activate his spirit vision. He congratulated the mottled colored he saw that the mottled color deep within the sun's ether body had turned pure, akin to the light of dawn. He smiled and said, "Congratulations, Mr. Bard." The Lord of the bathrooms, yes. At the same time, he saw the stars behind the sun's chair quickly shift, turning into the symbol of the sun. It transformed without my will. It was a reflection of the sun. Also, other than the palace, table, and chairs, the items that I conjure cannot be preserved once I leave this place. They're very special. There sure are many secrets to the world above the grey fog. Klein took in everything that stood in front of him as he contemplated. Derek lowered his head and answered humbly, "This is all due to your assistance. This is but the beginning." He wasn't surprised that the Fool knew he consumed the potion. Klein took out his silver pocket watch and looked at the time and chuckled. "Then let us begin the gathering. Remember, the frequency, or should I say the gap between the gatherings, should be the same in the future." As he was speaking, he maintained a connection with the Crimson Stars representing Justice and the Hanged Man before pulling them into the palace. Audrey looked at the scene before her and greeted him. "Good afternoon, Mr. Fool. I have a page of the Emperor Rozel's diary." Good afternoon, Mr. Sun. Have you gotten the formula for telepathist?" Now that I think about it, they shouldn't have a sewer system? Well, I don't know what the world I don't know what the fucking Silver City looks like or whatever. Victorian era England did have a sewer system. It wasn't great because there was a shit ton of cases of cholera and stuff, but they did have a very rough outline of one. Like, there was a shit ton of cholera everywhere. All the way up until the fucking, like, late 1800s. Weird a bit of history there, if you're interested. But there was this period where a shit ton of fucking U.S. presidents just kept dying. And they were like, what the fuck is happening here? No one realized what it was. It was literally just that... there was a fucking contamination of the water in Washington, D.C., and they just kept dying of cholera over and over. It's so sad that it's so bad that I'm laughing about it, but it was fucking hilarious when I learned about it. Because, like, the world's smartest fucking minds and whatever are getting together and they're like, holy shit, what the fuck is happening? Like, our leaders keep dying. What is happening? And it's like, motherfuckers, you just have cholera. Oh, no, that shit was hilarious. Okay. I was talking about Derek. Yeah, I don't know what the world looks like in the Lost City of Silver. I don't know. I don't make any judgments there. Emperor Rozel probably didn't have any thing there. Probably didn't have any influence there, but I mean, maybe. I don't know. Wait, Wait, what do you mean you don't know what it looks like? I sent you art of it. You said how good the lighting was drawn. Wait, what? Wait, I don't know what looked like what? What did I say? I don't know, man. I just say shit. What are you referring to, Milos? I don't know. Does even mention that he was shocked that all the aristocrats liked his idea? Sorry. I'll just wait until... Okay. Alright, this is going to be the last chapter for the current stream, and there'll be another stream in the afternoon. The stream should be around, again, in about 7 hours my time. I hope you guys can make it, but I understand City of Silver. Oh, I see. Sorry. No, I didn't say I didn't say I don't know how the City of Silver looks. I said I don't know how like the fucking toilet, the sewer system in there would work, because Emperor Roselle wouldn't have had any influence there, I assume. But again, like I'm not talking about how like the actual city looks. I remember that art you sent me with the lightning and shit. That shit was dope as fuck. Amnesia after the 1858 had yeah. England did have a decent sewer system. The biggest problem with England sewer, sorry, we're getting into such like weird territory here. The reason it fuck me. The reason they were having problems, Ramiro, wasn't because the sewer system wasn't good. It was that London kept having such a massive increase of population year over year because more and more like farmers and stuff kept moving into the city. It just wasn't built to keep up with that level of population and waste. So they did have problems. They did, I'm sure, have a relatively good sewer system and stuff, but. Okay, sorry. Apologies, Milos. I should have been more clear. I don't know what the fucking influence and like infrastructure of the City of Silver looks like. Sorry. Yeah, I'm sure they have a very small population too, because it sounds like a fucking nightmare to live there. All right, this seems like it's going to be a longer chapter. But all right, let's do this. How enviable it is for Miss Justice to always maintain a cheerful attitude. I wish I could be like that. You can, Klein. Just smile all the time, man. It's hard, I know, but just do that. Klein couldn't help but sigh wistfully. He then recalled a time when she had taken out £1,000 so easily, and realized that it would be difficult if he wanted to maintain his cheerful emotions like Miss Justice. The son, Derek Berg, was a young man that cared for his reputation. He immediately replied, I have obtained the telepathos formula. Wait, so then Klein's just becomes useless. What the fuck? Just get rich, Klein? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, yes. Listen, have you ever seen Jeff Bezos cry? Think about it. For the past week, he had been settling the inheritance that his parents had left him. Besides the property, furniture, and few sentimental items, the rest of the valuable items were brought back to the black market in the City of Silver in exchange for the telepathist formula and the Bard potion's ingredients. His meals were now rationed. Oh, that's so sad. What the fuck? However, he believed that the situation wouldn't be for long. When he passed the combat examination, he would join the team that cleansed the things of dark in the outskirts and be paid a decent amount. Yeah, small population means small, slow progress. That's fair too. They also had a medical blind spot. They thought of humor and miasmas and shit. Yeah, that's absolutely true. So, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm gonna do this now because I love talking about like, hold on. So, the reason I'm not sure if any of you have seen this before, but like the plague doctor masks and shit from the fucking Victorian England and shit. The reason these masks were what they were was because they thought like that viruses were just like things that just like spontaneously came out of the air. So this giant long fucking beak was filled with like spices and scents and stuff to keep the thing out, to keep viruses out, because they figured they could just instantaneously spawn, but if there was like good smells and stuff, it wouldn't do that. Sorry. When I become stronger, I'll apply to be a member of the elite squad to explore the depths of the dark and find a way to remove the curse. Derek thought with hope as he looked towards the fool who was engulfed in the fog. He noticed that the last time after Miss Justice made a request to Miss Fool, she was able to produce a page of the unknown Roselle's diary out of thin air. Although Derek didn't understand what had happened, he felt that it would be better if he watched Mr. Fool. After recalling the formula in your head, first, recall the formula in your head, then grab the pen by the side and instill it with the strong will and desire to express your thoughts. Klein casually leaned back in his high chair. Money doesn't bring happiness. Poverty brings misery. That's true. Being alive isn't great, but being dead is definitely bad. Yeah. But the weird thing is, we used to think up until very recently that, like, hey, once you reach like a certain living standard, extra money wouldn't make you happy. And then there was a research that came out not too long ago, and I was like, no, like, you make more and more money, and you're like more and more happy. I was like, what the fuck? Hold on. Yes. As the sun was from the city of silver, which might be the forsaken land of the gods, the pen that instantiated before him wasn't a fountain pen, but a quill. Of course, there wasn't any ink. Derek didn't dare to doubt what the fool said, so he immediately grabbed the quill that appeared in his hand. He followed the fool's instructions, and as expected, he saw the formula appear on the goatskin parchment before him in seconds. Money brings luxury, and luxury can bring happiness. It depends on the person. Absolutely, yeah. But I think a part of that also, Amnesiac, is I think, at least for me personally, there's like a difference between happiness and contentment. I don't care about being happy. I would much rather be content. Yeah, that's what I think about. But again, that's different for everyone, so I acknowledge that. After looking through it twice, Derek silently pushed the promised item to Miss Justice. Audrey was overjoyed and eager. She then took the parchment gracefully. She glanced at the page, and the words that Klein had translated came into sight. Main ingredient, nether drake, pituitary gland, 10 milliliters of half spectre. Supplementary ingredients. Main ingredient that I've never heard of. I don't know enough. Audrey, who had been trying to learn more about different types and names of Beyonders, ingredients from Forest and Shio, seemed to fret and thought. I know humors, miasma, and homeopathy medicine were a pretty ubiquitous. Yeah. For such moments, she would completely forget how a spectator should behave. Suddenly, Audrey heard the light rapping sound. She looked towards the seat of honor at the bronze table subconsciously. Interesting. So interesting. I don't, at least for me, Amnesia, I don't think they're like one brings the other. I think they're like separate things. I think at least the way, again, conceptually how I think about this doesn't necessarily have to be how you think about it, but I've always thought that like happiness is like when I'm in the moment. Like, if I hike and I get to the top and like, you know, you look out and you see the forests and shit and you're like, wow, that's beautiful. Like you're really happy. Or like you're spending time with your friends, you're at a party, whatever, you're drinking, you're having fun, you're happy. Contentment is like an inner solemn feeling where like you just feel happy, where you don't always have this thing about like wanting more and like reaching out and stuff into the ether to try to get more. And that's what I've always, again, that maybe that's not how like other people interpret it, but that's how I've always internally thought about it. Like happiness is short term based on current circumstances, and then like contentment is more like an umbrella sort of thing. Yeah, Romero, that's a good way of putting it. Contentment is passive, happy is active. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it too. Yeah, it's very simple. I like it. She was surprised to see the fool rapping at the edge of the table with his right index finger as he gestured to her with a nod. What's going on? Audrey was confused. Just then, as she was about to ask, the corner of her eye suddenly saw some change on the telepathist formula. There were some remarks to the next ingredient, next to some of the ingredients. Main ingredient, phantom nether drake complete pituitary gland, also known as rainbow salamander, 10 milliliters of half spectator rabbit, also known as Farsman rabbit. Supplementary ingredients. I know all of these. Audrey was stunned at first, and there was an intense surge of delight from the bottom of her heart. Thank you, Mr. Fool. You're very knowledgeable. She looked towards the seat of honor and thanked, as she thanked him sincerely and complimented him. Yeah, I get that, Amnesiac. Yeah. Again, different people can have like different understandings. For me, I've always just thought like, yeah, just different kinds of happiness. Yep, that's fair too. The hanged man Alger didn't know what happened, but he felt extreme contempt towards what Justice has said. How could you describe a godlike figure with the word knowledgeable? His existence alone is equivalent to knowledge itself to a certain extent. Klein accepted Miss Just, so sort of to that, Romero, to what you're saying, to each their own. There's a thing in philosophy known as a qualia, which is like a baser understanding of a thing that can't ever be passed on from person to person, right? Like qualia is just something like everyone has their own interpretation of, basically. So like when I say the word red and you think of the word red, the red I'm thinking of is probably a little bit different to the one you're thinking of. Like my red might be lighter, might be darker, might be maroonish, might whatever, right? But we have enough of a general idea to convey whatever we're thinking. But when you get into really, really niche and specific things, they don't always map on correctly. Because like when I'm talking about something this big, or sorry, I don't know how big my fucking camera is, but like this big, and and like my interpretation is like this and yours is like this, they roughly map on okay. But if I'm thinking of something this small and your interpretation is like here, it doesn't work. So yeah. No one can compare to Alger in terms of glazing, even Romero fails? Holy shit. That is true, his existence is equivalent to knowledge itself. Klein accepted Miss Justice's compliments without any misgivings, because this wasn't something he could have done because he had chanced upon the telepathist formula. After he pulled the Sun into the Tarot Club, he had been taking precautions against such problems by taking into consideration the Sun's special circumstances. He had been constantly studying ancient terminology. Therefore, even if Daxter hadn't managed to get the formula, he could have made the notations easily. Through prior divination and comparison, he made certain that both telepathist formulas were accurate. Nice. Though, as we say, preparedness averts peril. Audrey looked at the telepathist formula a few times, reined in her gaze unwillingly. She then personally expressed Roselle's diary onto a page. You deserve this. She put down her pen and looked at the fog. Fog engulfed fool. In addition to this, I will give your adorer another 300. Is 300 pounds okay? Okay, so it wasn't 1,000, it was 300. She sounded a little guilty because the 3 pages of the Roselle had only cost her 20 pounds, while the share formula of sequence 8 required 450. I wish it would rain tonight. How come, Romero? Fun fact, if you arrange the letters of Alger's name and add a Z... Oh, come on, Milos, come on. Give the guy a break. In other words, from the perspective of simple math, she had to pay another 430 pounds on top of the 3 pages to her diary, on top of the 3 pages of her diary. However, Audrey felt that it was thanks to her luck that the seller didn't know the value of Roselle's diary, which allowed her to buy it at a low price. Emperor Roselle's diary cost at least 50 pounds per page. Audrey held her fist and encouraged herself. 300 pounds? Until today, I've only seen that much money at Sir Deweyville's place. Klein sighed and pretended not to be interested in the money as he nodded. A reasonable deal. This is my adorer's information. He avoided speaking of terms like Backland Bank and anonymous account verbally through the fool's mouth, as it would damage his image, and he made them appear on the parchment before her. Klein had taken time to visit the bank's Tingen branch last Wednesday, while investigating the house with the red chimneys. He disguised himself and opened an anonymous bank account. I love how back in the day you could just like hide your face with a fucking windbreaker or whatever. So walk into a bank and just open an account in whatever name, and the guy would just be like, "Okay, here's your account. Piss off." Because the account was literally a fucking bank ledger. It was a fucking book you got. What a joke. The account only required one to memorize his account number and the corresponding password to withdraw cash from any Backland branch. If one found that wasn't secure enough, he could also request to add a signature and thumbprint verification, but that would be more troublesome. The sun's too hot and unforgiving and water's precious. The smell of rain is the best. Especially if you're trying to sleep, man, this rain noise is the best. Unless it starts thundering. That might be a different issue. But, like, I don't mind the thunder either, so. In order to keep his secret identity, Klein left it with a password. The password is written in Ancient Hermes, his fucking signature. As Ancient Hermes itself can be used for rituals and prayers, anyone who dares to copy the password would be reciting my name. Then I'll immediately receive a signal, and can simply find out who's trying to steal my wealth from the world above the great fog. Klein was very satisfied with the idea that he came up with. I just want to be cold. Oh yeah, Sri Lanka. It's gotta be hot as fuck over there, eh? April. Is it really hot right now, Romero? Yeah, plus tropical island, so it's gotta be like humid as shit too, no? The only downfall is it would expose the existence of the fool, but the risk was within the acceptable range. What acceptable range, bro? Audrey pushed the diary onto the fool as she took the parchment with the information of the fool's adorer. Recorded on it was the Backlund Bank and a bunch of numbers that formed an anonymous account. I wonder if the fool's admirer is male or female, and which sequence they are. They must be very powerful, at least not weaker than the Rear Admiral. Audrey couldn't stop her thoughts from wandering. Bro, he's a lot weaker. He's sequence 9. My guy's useless, bro. Sequence 9 and a fucking support type sequence 9. Today's hot. Yesterday was rain. Spring has just started, and today's temperature was 29. Do you guys want to know what the temperature in my hometown is right now? It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which means it's about as hot as it's going to be all day. Are you guys interested in what the fucking weather is? Oh yeah, Milos, I'm curious. It's probably similar for you as it is for me. It's currently -2 degrees. And it also snowed yesterday. Here for me too, Milos. But she quickly focused and memorized the account number. It doesn't have to be so troublesome. Just then she heard the fool's low yet gentle voice. When you get home, recite your name and you'll be able to write down the information directly. Recite my name, yeah. Klein would say, absolutely, yeah. This would be just like when I drew the red chimney through divination. An account number is very important. You can't memorize it incorrectly. That works too. From the fool's words, he appears very confident. He lives up to his status of a godlike figure, even if he can even do this. Audrey was stunned at first before coming to the realization that everything makes sense. But why did I have to memorize the formula earlier? 8 degrees, yeah. The first person in the monsoon is just starting. Oh shit, yeah. Okay, so then you'll be getting your wish then, no? Remember, you'll be getting a shit ton of rain soon. At that moment, Klein pressed down on the page of their diary, but wasn't in a hurry to read it. He looked to the side of the sun and calmly asked, "What compensation would you like?" Derek thought seriously and said, "I don't have anything that I desperately need as of now. I should digest the Bard potion very soon. I will wait until then to request my compensation. Yes, perhaps to prepare for the corresponding sequence 8 or the necessary ingredients. 8 is light supplement, which I have, but the ingredients, even if I had them, I would have no way to give them to you. Wait, use the word digest. I guess the City of Silver knows about the acting method. The highest sequence is only a sequence 4, so they are limited by ingredients," Klein thought. Only sequence 4? Bro, you're sequence 9. Calm your shit down. I think, Milos, I think the number is something like 2/3 of the human population have never seen snow, so it's not that uncommon. Damn, even if this is a small country, my area's at 26 and the other parts at 15. Yeah, but that makes sense. If there's like mountains or some shit over there, then the temperature can vary heavily. My father's grandmother kept telling a story about when my grandmother was small, it would snow to her waist. Wow. Yeah, man. Weather patterns have changed so drastically. It's wild. Audrey noticed the word digest. She weighed her words and asked, "Mr. Sun, are you aware of the acting method?" Derek looked at Miss Justice in confusion and answered, "It's nothing strange. The general education classes in City of Silver teach the acting method." The acting method is taught in the general education class? Audrey looked at the hanged man and realized they were looking back at her. The two of them fell silent. The origin of the sun is indeed mysterious. I wonder where Mr. Fool pulled him from into the Tarot Club. The more I think about it, the more I revere him. Audrey settled down and looked at the Fool, who didn't seem surprised in any way. Then Alder probed, Mr. Sun, do you talk about any key things to look out for in respect to the acting method? Yes. It's clearly stated in our education classes that one and only key point for the acting method is to remember that you're only acting. I'm one of those 2/3, yeah. But like 2/3 of, what is it, 8.5 billion people is what, fucking 6.5? Like some fucking crazy amount of people, man. Yes. As expected, we're using an ingenious method to go around obstacles and completely break down remnant spirits in the potion without submitting to it. The sun, you're such a simple boy. You just shared such important information by accident. Klein smiled and cast his eyes on the diary page before him. Alright, I think that's a pretty good place to leave it. Yeah, it's a good place indeed. Again, we'll try to get to 162 at night, so that'll be another 4 chapters. We got through 6 or 7 right now. I think we got through 7 right now. That's pretty good. If we can get through another 4, I'll be at 11 for the day, which is really good. And then now I'm gonna go take care of my niece and nephew for a bit. Come and then make some videos for tomorrow, because I haven't done that in a little while. Artwork channel, yes, Milosh. Every time you send me that message, I can only think about that meme you sent. Makes me chuckle every time. Found these. Oh, that is. Wait, hold on. That is really cool. The sun. Oh, my boy looks so cool. Holy shit, you're right. Okay, thanks for this, Milosh. This is dope as fuck. Miss Justice. Holy shit, she looks so pretty here. Logically, snow's not a normal thing to experience for us as water-based creatures. Hope to catch the next stream. Yeah, of course. DSV should be in about, give or take 7 hours from now. Again, you're in the Discord, so I'll give you guys a heads up as always. Nightwalker, bye. Hope you have a great rest of your day, or night, depending on wherever you're from. Yeah, that looks so good. These are so good. The Hanged Man upside down, as the Hanged Man should be. Very nice. Very, very put together. Hands behind his back. Look at him. His hair looks like a fucking mess, though. The Fool. The clown makeup. Have a good day. Yeah, you too, Dr. Z. Have a great rest of your day. Night. I think it's like 9 p.m. for you now. I found another set of tarot cards for each member. I can't put them because spoilers. I found another one. It's only Audrey and Alder. Won't be pity. Yeah, no worries at all, Dr. Z. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Night, India. I see. Won't make it to the next stream. Yeah, no worries, Romero. I figured that'd be the case on India. What time is it in Delhi? Oh shit! Yeah, it's noon. Sorry, it's midnight. Sorry, not noon. It's midnight there for you, so that makes sense. Yeah, no worries. You have a good night, Nightwalker. Miss Justice, that looks so cute. Oh my god, these are so well done, dude. You guys weren't kidding. Your shit is, you're fucking. I'll put a music for a certain chapter if you reach it. Sounds good, Kami. I appreciate it, bud. Only when your mental state is in peak shape. Of course, yeah. Yeah, again, the night stream will be pretty short, relatively speaking. Like, it's, about half the length of this one. Get the tart. It's 10, actually. Okay, yeah. Bye, Dr. Z. Have a good night. That's very cute. Oh, this one. Oh. Oh, look at the detective. This is really Sherlock Holmes. That wasn't a bad guess at all. Just get to, yeah, I'll get to 162 and then I'll leave it there, Romero. Thanks for the stream. No worries. Thanks so much for popping by, Sound. I appreciate it. If you guys can't make it to the night one, that's no worries at all. Hope to see you again tomorrow, roughly around the same time as today. Again, as always, I'll give you guys a heads up. And yeah, that is really cool. Yeah. If it's short, then stop at, yeah, I'll stop at 162. It'll be a short stream. I can't if I can do 11 chapters in a day, that'd be unbelievably impressive. For me, not for you guys, obviously, but for me, because normally I can do, like, I started out at 5 chapters not too long ago, and my throat was dying. I fear him, can't resist the urge to. Oh no, don't worry. I'm a good boy. You don't need to worry about that, Jin. All right, that's it, guys. We'll leave it there. Once again, thank you so much, everyone. Hope you have a great rest of your day or night, and hope to see you again either tonight or for tonight for me, or tomorrow, roughly around the same time. That's it. I'll catch y'all later. Bye.